Probably he ain't lying. Tony take my man. Y'all know better than what somebody would have got.
Wolfpack gang, what it do?
What?
We back with a late night motherfucking stream. Fucking shit up. I gotta play this little thing. No, this ain't in the title, but I gotta play this little part before it. This nigga responded. I ain't even seen it, but you know, he talking about the BBL Buggy got. I know it's gonna be funny as hell. Either that or he gonna agree with it and be like, yeah, I'll go get one. Yeah. What's going on? Alright. It's good, man, Lane. Why the fuck did I do that? That was so damn stupid. Trying to play 2K.
I need all boys or Dutch, Harold.
Expose TV on IG.
Yeah. I need all black men to check in. I need all black men to check in. I need niggas that got hair on their legs, hair up under their arm, hair on their nuts, hair on their chin, with fuzz at the top of their penis. I need all boys and men to come check in right motherfucking now. Right now. I need everybody to check in right motherfucking now. And can somebody tag BANDMAN KEVO? Yeah, can somebody tag BANDMAN KEVO? I don't know what the fuck done happened. Now this nigga done went and got a stomach done. Yeah, this nigga done confessed to having his stomach done. He done pulled up his stomach and he got shit wrote on his stomach where them folks done him like they done them hoes. He had to lay down and get a Brazilian butt lift. Yeah, BANDMAN KEVO got a Brazilian butt lift. Nigga say, I just found out today. I'm sitting over here I'm at where the women get their hair done. And one of these girls said, BANDMAN KEVO got one of them things done to his belly. And I said, well shit, man, if I'm gonna get something done like that, I'm gonna get my dick done. Yeah, fuck a six pack. Nigga, that fat, take out my stomach, say, Doc, can you put it in that penis? Swell him up. Yeah, get him as big as you can get him. Fuck a six pack, nigga. Hell you talking about? Boy, that money make you fuck a nigga up. I don't want that much money. Yeah, I don't want that much money. Hell no, I don't want that kind of money where a nigga go to getting surgery done on his stomach because he's ashamed to have a belly. Nigga, didn't you see Biggie? Fat, black, and ugly as ever. He ain't getting now motherfucking surgery. Nigga, hell no. Bernie Mac, he didn't have no surgery. Samuel L. Jackson. James Brown. Did you see how James Brown was looking when he shot the gun out the truck? Nigga had to go to jail and come back out. Nigga, hell no. Man, the only one fucked up with that surgery was Mike, and that killed him. Listen, I would say, listen, young boy. BANDMAN KEVO. I'm finna go back to wearing coveralls. I'm finna go back to wearing coveralls and Stacey Adams church shoes like the old nigga with a wallet, nigga, with $400 worth of 20s in the wallet folded up in my back pocket. This new age having a bunch of money shit. Before you know it, man, these niggas be having transsexual girlfriend. Nigga turn his fat stomach into a six pack. Yeah, no, nigga. The white boy Ron Jeremy was a vibrant porn star with a fat belly. Yeah, the white boy had long hair, he had the long mullet, and he had a belly during the 80s. Nigga fucking the shit out them white hoes. Nigga, hell, you talking about on that hardcore porn shit, nigga, we used to sneak and look at. Nigga, hell, you talking about fat belly white boy. Nigga, no, hell no. Nigga, my cousin Naki was a fat nigga with a jerry curl from the south side. Got 7-8 babies. No, nigga, I don't know where you nigga get off thinking fat nigga can't get no baby. Yeah, man, don't y'all go do that. Y'all let him be the only nigga ever. Listen to me. And I want y'all to hear me good. Let BANDMAN KEVO be the only nigga to have ever got his stomach worked on. Yeah, let him be exclusive in that category. That ain't nothing we done. Hell you talking about, nigga? If that nigga, all he gotta do is, shit, nigga get a hold of some mollies. Yeah, just go on the fucking spree, popping mollies. Yeah, fucking some of them badass model bitches and don't eat for a week. Yeah, shit, he'll lose weight. Yeah. That nigga wanted to be fine. He was sick and tired of being funny looking with them motherfucking white boy clothes on with that funny made body. Yeah, he wanted to get him. I wouldn't give a damn if all my hair went to missing right here. I'm not cutting my sides. I'm gonna look like George Jefferson. No, nigga, I'm not giving in. I'm not giving in, nigga. I'm not giving in, nigga. I don't want to be pretty. That's all I get. No, that's, yeah, you niggas still put Nazeem on your face at night. Yeah, that nigga want to be fine. He want to unbutton his shirt. He want to have them motherfucking Versace shirts button open like Tupac. Yeah, he want to have them up. He want to show his shit like Tupac. He want to get a thug like tattoo like Tupac and show it. I'm telling you, listen, I don't want $100 million. I swear I don't. I ain't bullshit. Just give me $2 million and I'm happy. I don't want to be too far from broke. Cause you know doing some weird shit. Your sex life goes expanding. And I don't want to expand my sex life. I don't want to fuck 4 hoes. Yeah, cause what them other 3 bitches gonna be doing while we fucking? Wondering. Yeah, finger gonna be in a nigga head. One bitch gonna be tickling your ear. Yeah, they gonna be distracting you. Nigga, why they do things to you? I don't want 4 bitches. I heard you talking about he want a 4 with all that goddamn money. Not me. Fuck you, nigga. Let me see. She got 10 fingers, so that's 10. She got 10 fingers, that's 20. She got 10 fingers, that's 30. She got 10 fingers. Nigga, that's 40 fingers. One whole finger gonna be wandering and rubbing up and down places. You gonna lose focus. Nigga trying to fuck 4 bitches. Before you know it, they finger fucking you. You done found something you like. And you wasn't intending that, but you done stumbled up on something. And yeah, I don't want no money. I don't want a whole bunch of money. I ain't lying. I don't want a whole bunch of money. I want enough where if you don't pay taxes, you back down there with your cousin them. No, they don't take you to jail. Yeah, go on back down to the ghetto, nigga, in yours. No, them niggas with all that money, they go to jail. Like Wesley Snipes and all that shit. Fred Sanford, them people had too much money, they go to jail and the folks still come take shit. I just want enough. $2 million to set me straight. Fuck 5, 10, 15, 20 million. Nigga might not go to hell with that kind of money. But I wasn't getting on her to talk about that. I just so happened to log on Instagram and saw BANDMAN KEVO got his belly done. Say, boy, do you know what motherfucker would say to you if this was the 1980s? Say, don't y'all know that nigga with all that money got his belly done? Yeah, nigga, you couldn't go to no bar. Yeah, you and your show couldn't have no bar fights. That boy got his belly done. He say, I tried losing weight. You wasn't doing no sit-ups. Had you been doing crunches and sit-ups and them motherfucking me bends and thrusts, let me show you. Nigga, them motherfucking me. them motherfuckers right there, and them goddamn mountain climbers, nigga, them goddamn mountain climbers, and them motherfucking bar crawl, nigga, had you been bar crawling, nigga? Had you been bar crawling? Yes. Yes, would have got the, but you one of them fat lazy niggas. I already know the type of nigga put them goddamn Debbie cake wrappers up under the bed, and your mama don't find them like that little boy on the Monsters ball when she told you fat motherfucker, and all you do is eat. Yeah. Say, boy, listen, I ain't mad at a lesbian. I ain't lying. I ain't too far enough a punk. But lesbians, I kind of understand. Yeah, I kind of understand why these hoes got to do what they got to do. Say this. How you and the woman gonna have an argument? She done had a BBL, and you done had a Brazilian tummy tuck. Yeah. So how y'all go argue when she go to college? Yeah, you bitch ass nigga, you done got your body done like me. You ain't got no leg to stand on. Bitch, shut up, hoe. Yeah, you the hoe, nigga. You went to see Dr. Miami too. Say, listen, boy, listen. Hey, listen. They say you can get your dick done. Yeah, they say you can take 6 inches and get fat pulled out your belly and get fat pulled out your belly and get your dick blowed up to 9 inches. That's what you should have done. Yeah, who want a belly? Yeah. Say, what's up, baby? Hey. Oh, yeah, baby. You know, the elements don't bother me. You remember I was in that blizzard driving when I wrecked the truck on the bridge and I almost died? Yeah. I'm in the rain too. Say now, baby, Bandman Keevy got his stomach done. They say you can get your dick done. You know, like the women get the BBLs? Yeah. They say you can get your dick done. Get that dick blowed up. Yeah. I'm thinking about 2 inches. Two more inches, boy, make me, my voice will get deeper, and then I might get some hair on my chest. No. Yeah, listen, Bandman Keevy got his belly done, baby. He had a fat stomach, and he couldn't get it, but now he got a 12-pack. You said the man was getting their body done. He posted it though. He admitted it. He said he couldn't lose no weight. He tried in the weight room. So he. And boy, in 10 more years, men ain't gonna know how to drive tractors. Right? Yeah. For long. Niggas gonna start. Yeah. Women gonna start fucking men. Yeah. They gonna start punishing men with dicks. Putting strap-ons on these niggas. Yeah, he done tripped out. But now, baby, listen. Listen, you can get your dick done. It's a real surgery. Well, man, am I lying, Sarah? Did she show us that? No, man, it's a real surgery. They say white men. No, she just showed us. The girl just showed us a real video. Yeah, you can get that dick blown up.
Charleston White a damn fool, boy. That boy say Kev got that motherfucking. He better not get into no argument with another chick that had a BBL. You know she gonna light his ass up. Well, you done had the BBEs, my knees, he stop playing. Nah, but to each his own, man. Do what you do with your money, what you want to do with your money. But, you know, dang. Shit is a little. It is just gonna get your ass talked about. You're not gonna be able to live that down. Stay on your ass for life about that, but every time you say something tough, boy, you don't get your BBL ass on before I hit you in that motherfucking, in that wound where they left open. Punch a nigga right there in that motherfucking puncture. Right where they suck that fat out at. Bop! Now you leaking again. Nah, but we just talking shit though, man. If that man wants to do with his body and his money, that's on him. But you know the internet gonna win. They gonna get theirs off. Internet gonna always get theirs off, bucko. Your ass ain't getting no. Then you went like the only fucked up, the most fucked up shit about it is you got your ass did for real. Like, it's pictures of you laying, you know what I'm saying, like on the table with your ass out. And they got it covered up and all that, but you got your ass out, and you know you can tell where, you know, in the before picture, you know, it's just that was weird. I don't give a fuck. You ain't touching my ass. If I say fuck it, go and give me them abs, cause my stomach won't get right. You ain't don't touch my ass, my nigga. Don't even have my shit pulled out while I'm asleep. You understand me? You let a motherfucker play in that old booty. What y'all think though? Who in here get a BBL that's a man? Or who will encourage their man to get a BBL if you a woman? If you a woman and your man got that surgery, get the fuck away from this nigga. Would you like it? Would y'all fuck with him? I'm pretty sure y'all will, because when a nigga get that surgery, you know what I'm saying, like it'll take, you gotta ask that question to like certain women. Because when a nigga get a surgery, that means he got some bread, you know what I'm saying? So if he got some bread, most women gonna put up with whatever. Until he start, you know, getting on their bad side, then y'all gonna start, well, you don't get your BBL having ass on, you got a Brazilian butt lift, and you wanna be up in here talking crazy to me. You ain't say shit about the motherfuckers that was talking about your BBL. You know, y'all just gotta get mad enough. Once y'all get mad enough, everything coming out, goddamn me. Boy, you got a penis enlargement surgery because your shit was whack. I get one of them motherfuckers. If I get one of them motherfuckers, something added on, I don't know. This shit'll be disrespectful. It'll be just much too much on everything. Motherfucker, it'll be much too much. Just put it like that, man. Motherfucker ain't gonna be able to goddamn me. I might have to go into porn. They gonna offer me some. This goofy motherfucker, man. Again, if anybody play 2K, let me know. Cause I got some fucking randandies that don't do what they supposed to. Now give me the ball. Look at this goofy. They ready to turn over. Throw the ball. Look at this shit. Fucking nubble it, bro. Look at this nigga, man. He just don't want to fucking admit he need me. Throw the fucking ball, bro. Pass it to the king, bitch. Yeah, and the game over. Pass it to the king, bitch. I need to put, matter of fact, that's what I found. I'm finna start putting this show, so while I'm doing my shit, I can go back and forth showing y'all my little shit. You know what I'm saying? I probably could do, nah, what's this stream? Nah, this ain't what I need to be streaming on to do it. I'm on that though. Queen Hannah, you say you moving on? Stop capping now. You know if that nigga got that bread, you ain't going nowhere. What if one of them roster niggas do it? Roster niggas ain't going though, you know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna go. Oh, I guess that, you know what I'm saying? That's just what he wanted. I don't know why would he get a BBL either. What about the stomach? Getting his stomach sketched out, getting the fat sucked out your stomach, and getting a little ab shit. You know what I'm saying? Ab sketching, I think is what they call it. I don't really see too much of nothing wrong with that. I don't see nothing wrong with men getting surgery if they over big and it's healthy for them to get the surgery. Like it'll help them with their health. But just to get it for looks, you know what I'm saying? The ab shit, maybe that's understandable, but it's too easy to get your chest big. It's too easy to work out and get the rest of that shit together. He definitely could have hired a couple personal trainers and they would have got him right in no time. But to each his own. He probably feel like he ain't had the time for that. Like I said, it's still his body, his money, so fuck it. I feel like it's funny, so it's hard not to not cover some shit like this. I can dig that. Most women do though. Most women definitely, especially these day and age women, it's all about the money for them. Shit, you ain't got no money, you can't get no honey, which is understandable because if a motherfucker now, if they saying he got to be a millionaire and all that, then that's different. But if a motherfucker got their shit together and they fall on bad times and you still fuck with a motherfucker, that's different. But when it come down to some of these chicks, they really pick their man, judge off the money. They don't give a fuck how he look. Like I bet big bread right now, if Rick Ross was broke, he wouldn't have all them badass bitches that he'd be having. It's a lot of other rappers too. All these ugly ass rappers, bogus ass rappers that I know niggas that look just like these niggas in real life on the streets, and they don't get bitches falling at their feet. So it's mostly, like I said, it's that money and status and shit, which money brings status. But y'all know what I mean. Lil boy, what it do? Hey, but I guarantee every nigga looking into that penis enlargement shit, like, I wonder what that'll cost. Even if it don't matter how big a motherfucker is still gonna be like, damn. But shit, I'd be scared to get that shit, cause what if it take the feeling away? Some of the feeling. Some ain't gonna be the same. Goddamn, it's gonna take some away. I ain't trying to be, might not be able to get hard like that. Yeah, man. That's really a problem that a nigga asks for, man. Nobody really got that. Well, some people that's like overly fat, born that way. Like one of my homies got it for health reasons. When he was a kid, he was too big, so he got but it wasn't like a BB, it wasn't like that type shit. I think they just cut off half his stomach so he wouldn't be as hungry no more. Some shit like that. And it was something similar to that, you know what I'm saying? Where they cut out some of the shit that'll make him want to eat less, or not be able to eat as much because his stomach will feel full with just half the food he was eating, or whatever the case may be. But see, that's the thing. He probably, like, the butt lift wasn't what he went for. For the most part, he went for the abs. He might have went for the abs and he might have went for the old penis surgery, you know what I'm saying? Because the word is that he had got that too. But he might have went for the abs. But then the doctor, it's their job to talk you into shit. They're gonna be like, oh, it's not gonna look right if you don't get your back done, your lower back, and your glutes. They're gonna call it the glutes, so it won't seem as wild. But at the end of the day, it's a BBL. You feel me? That's the same thing women do. You know what I mean? So then like I know a lot of women that had that done, and I done felt it. Felt the women. Some women shit be just, it feel like it don't feel natural. I felt some women shit, they got their shit done and it look and feel natural. But I done felt some where you touch that shit and it's hard as a motherfucker and you can just tell it ain't natural, it ain't normal. So imagine if he feel like that, you know what I'm saying? Like what the chick would think. That's why I'm asking y'all what y'all think if y'all grab a nigga and he feel artificial. I know, I hope you ain't got no fake titties. You know, they got that for men too. Or you can get like breast implants to where it look like you got the muscles and all that shit, muscle implants, whatever. But it's really the same thing as titty implants. It's just made out of different material, I guess. Stronger material. Because titty's supposed to be soft and muscle supposed to be hard, so they'll probably make it out of like some stronger shit. Know what I mean? And do it that way. But at the end of the day, female touch that shit and she gonna be able to tell. Might be an instant turnout. She might be on top riding, you know what I'm saying? Grab your shit, and you feel like her shit. She feel like, what the fuck? She got the motherfucking, I forgot the different names, 2 different names of titties. Silicone and it's, I forgot the other name, fuck. I actually bought some of the other names. Silicone, not the silicone, but the other ones, that's the better ones. They look more natural or some shit. You definitely had to get a titty lift, because most motherfuckers that get that, if they don't get the titty lift, they be regretting it. These bum ass niggas on my team. Mike, what it do? Nigga Mike in the building. He said he couldn't get a girl to the Nelly drop. He looking like. That shit definitely been working, especially nowadays. Motherfuckers getting famous off looking like a rapper. They know what to do with it. See, a BDL, you cool. So you cool getting that penis enlargement. Well, I get charged with murder. Bitches. Trash ass teammates. That's my comments. Hey, you fuck around, get that BDL, and that motherfucker don't stand up no more. Might fuck with them nerves. You might have to go get some honey or something. Some of them blue pills. I don't need none of them. So my shit just be. I be having to calm him down. But you see something, boy? What's wrong? You see something? Calm your ass down. Nothing going on around here. We just had a thought. So he might get caught. I don't think he'll do that. He cared about his reputation too much. That's why he tried to hide that BBL, but see what happened was somebody exposed it. Man, maybe that was part of the plan. Like I said, I think dude be playing like games and shit. Fuck. I think he be playing games and shit like he really just like for trying to finesse the internet type shit. Cause him and dude and them did an interview together. It looked like they damn near got cool. Now all of a sudden y'all back beefing. His baby mama hanging with you. He already said what he did with the other girl. That might be payback for him fucking, for her allowing him to fuck with the other chick. But you never know. We'll see at the end of the day. I just feel like I wouldn't trust shit. I wouldn't trust that shit if I was 16. I'd be preparing for any type of motherfucking. You did. Everything gotta get recorded. I'm letting them know out the rip. Whatever we do in the beginning gotta get recorded. You're not finna finesse me and have me on the Me Too list. So they will do that. Have his ass in court. All it takes is him one little argument. Come on, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Goofies, bro. Real live goofies. Yeah, they got something to make you taller. They do. They got something that'll make you 3 to 5 inches taller. They got procedures for that too. And they got a couple of them now. They had some shit that do it over time, and then they got some shit that can make it like kind of instantly. I think it's putting, I'm not sure if it's feet, some of your feet, I don't know. But they definitely got something that'll make you taller. You'll be 6 feet too, goddamn me, when they get done. That's on everything. Look it up. Look it up, bro. They got it. They definitely got something to make a motherfucker taller. That's on my life. I seen that shit years ago, so I know, and it's in effect now. Like it's active. It ain't just nothing they was talking about like years ago. They was just talking about that shit like I think they even had it. Matter of fact, it was somebody getting it. Like it was made for midgets and shit. It was made for midgets, for like real life midgets to make them taller. And matter of fact, yeah, it's a show where the midget got the procedure and came out taller. Changed that midget life. Like midgets, like it changed my life. I'm so happy. I think all midgets should get this. Look, I'm telling you, that's real shit, bro. They got some shit that can make you taller. That shit crazy. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, you know, it gotta be some kind of, it can't be, like, it gotta be a kind. Pros and cons, it gotta be some type of kind where, you know, you might not feel everything like you used to. And I don't want that. I'd rather shit stay where I'm at and feel it. Because to be honest, they got pills you can take that improve your blood flow and make your shit stand up a little bit, you know what I mean? Get you together without having to do none of that shit. These niggas out here trying it all though. Say you going to the league. I guarantee some motherfuckers in the league got it. LeBron's son probably end up getting it. If it ain't dangerous, if you won't fuck up something, like it's probably too risky. If you already know you going to the league and they try to do that, you know what I'm saying? and then they fuck up something, shit might be a little weird. But definitely is something for men to make them taller. It's on everything. And with the YSL, these niggas, man, they just asking for it. Like, they not gonna get, like, I don't see them getting no bond. They definitely might not get no bond for life now. Shit. Fuck. Cause the way they playing it, you know what I'm saying? They in there really acting like they trying to stand on business. But like, and it ain't them, it's the young dumb niggas. It's the young dumb niggas that's in their clique, like this goofy. Little young, I think it's Lil Yak brother or some shit. His ass done threatened the police, threatened the sheriff and the wife. His ass done got through under the bus. They finna make an example out of his ass. And he looks scared as hell in that mugshot. Young. Let me see if I see a picture like cutting his head off. I think he 18 or some shit like that. He done threatened to kill one of the sheriffs and then one of the people that's involved with the case, the wife of the person. Nigga, is you retarded? Like, that shit right there is the most dumbest shit he could have ever in his life chose to do. On social media, trying to look cool. Now your ass in there hit with 20-some charges. He definitely gonna tell. And if he do know something, he definitely gonna tell something. Ain't no way. His ass talking. You talking. So you already home wrecking shit? Sersky. Let's see, go sit your ass down. Yeah, bro. They know what they doing, because I'm telling you, them motherfuckers was drinking lean, popping pills. You know, the weed ain't shit. They were smoking like, there's a lot of that shit, accumulation of everything that they doing to go up in that bitch and get threw up in the worst situation in the world, cold turkey. The motherfuckers, I'm telling you, Thugger thought about snitching. Thugger done thought about it like, man, let me see how this shit look. Nah, I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? But I guarantee you, he thought about it. That's for sure. But then you got this nigga like motherfuckers like Queso Daddy.
Fish. To have it.
If you ain't subscribing, Charleston White talks about BANDMAN, KEVO's tongue. Like, comment, subscribe. TV on IG.
I need all black men to check in. I need all black men to check in. I need niggas that got hair on their legs, hair up under their arm, hair on their nuts, hair on their chin, with fuzz at the top of their penis. I need all boys and men to come check in right motherfucking now.
It's your boy King Yellow.
It's your boy King Yellow.
Talking this King Yellow.
Talking this with King Yellow.
Give y'all the truth.
I ain't seen
BANDMAN, KEVO. 16 shot him.
Shit, I can't see this shit. My bad.
He got started with.
I see what Yellow got to
y'all
say.
We all know
BANDMAN
KEVO is a multi-millionaire. So
the
shit that's going on the internet with his girl, his ex-girl, his wife. Little do y'all know is she's doing all that on the internet. She's still married to
She taking
KEVO.
the L. She taking the
So
big
that
L.
is weird. That's weird. But
Another thing.
I can't trust a female that soon we break up, you run to a nigga you see I'm getting into it with. 16. Don't fall for the okie doke, bro. That shit not gonna be solid. It's not real, bro. That shit for the clout, period. And this from the bottom of my heart and what I'm telling you.
Any female that go run to a nigga that's into it with her baby daddy or whatever, that's just weird clout chasing that shit. But listen, now back to Diamond.
Back to Diamond. Diamond.
You know, we wouldn't even know who
Diamond was if it wasn't from KEVO. KEVO multi-millionaire with the sack. You feel me? Gotta understand this. So
she from Indiana.
She got Section 8. She moved to Florida. She held KEVO down in prison.
While KEVO was in prison, they got married. They got married when he came home. You feel me? Okay, that's irrelevant. But she held him down. Okay, that's a good note. But one thing, okay, y'all tripping about KEVO getting his body done. That KEVO got his
They
body
always
done.
do me like that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But I don't trip though. Like
a lot of famous multi-millionaire rich people get their body done. But once when you get your body done, you turn to a sex symbol now. This is KEVO, right? So he got all type of bad bitches in his inbox wanting to fucking suck on him. Now Diamond, she good. Okay, she held it down. But remember, she said she ain't got nothing to offer but love. You ain't got no bag, you're not bringing no bag, everything I'm doing. I'm basically
already
daddy
that's what she's
taking
working
care
on.
of.
She have a
You feel me?
YouTube channel.
That's
gonna be
out.
getting the bag
So I
already.
understand
But I
where KEVO
guarantee
comes
you,
from. Now, KEVO got himself together. He's not fat no more. You're not doing nothing. You're still sitting on your ass thinking I'm gonna take care of you, living extravagant, doing the shit. That's out. You bring the Section 8 out here, riding these ones, everything that I gave you. Then you take that shit and you're not even paying on it or nothing. So basically, you stole my cars and everything. Y'all trying to bash KEVO all on the internet like he foul or whatever. If he foul, how could he be foul when he was just doing everything for this girl? You feel me? Y'all gotta understand that he was doing everything for the girl. So now y'all bashing him on the internet, saying he put out. I did my research. KEVO pulled 300,000 out and was willing to take Diamond to Texas and get her a house and all the shit. She denied it. She said she want to stay with KEVO. You feel me? So she want to stay with KEVO. He moved upstairs from a little condo to a bigger condo. His bag getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You feel me? But she was so in love with KEVO that she didn't even want to go nowhere. So who fault is that? I don't want to be with you no more. Bro said he been with her this whole time. He fucking with her. He been with her this whole time. He not fucking her. That excuse me. He starting to feel like she a little sister, like she a family member or something. That's weird. You feel me? Now, if I'm around a motherfucker and I feel like we're not fucking, we around each other 2 years, we not fucking, I don't want to be around you. So obviously she's upset. She's doing upset shit. She said she want to kill herself. You feel me? And she can't be with KEVO. You feel me? All type of weird ass shit. Like that shit is out. Like I wouldn't even want to be with nobody like that. I wouldn't even want you to be around me. You feel me? So now, 16 shot her exposing. She around. She done sent all this shit around to 16. She sent everything to 16 so 16 can expose it. But 16, you gotta understand, a female like that, the same way you got her, the same way you gonna lose her. She on you, mad at him. But you gotta realize this, 16. She's married. You and BANDMAN tripping and doing whatever y'all that shit is over a female. That's out. Y'all, you feel me? And y'all don't even know each other. This some internet dumbass shit. You feel like he put bots on your page and wooty woo woo, or he doing that, but you gotta understand, for you tripping with a nigga that's a multi-millionaire. He got the bag. That's his baby mama. He got 6, 7 other baby mamas. One that actually went to prison with him and didn't even tell on him or nothing, that kept it solid. You feel me? Follows this female. Now, I don't know Diamond, but I heard that she's not too bright. You feel me? So a female that's not too bright like that, gang, you know, you gotta, I have to do everything for you. So basically, she was sitting around KEVO, willing just to get taken care of. I know he got the bag. Okay, she said she got nothing to offer but love. Her body, sex, and all type of shit like that. You feel me? That shit don't work with everybody. Like, people got a bag, people that got money, they want somebody that's getting money. You feel me? It don't be the same. Like, now it's levels. So now KEVO is up and he looking down on her. Because, yeah. And then another thing, he gave her $100,000 to go start her nail shit, and she ain't even do that. She fucked off the money. So you trying to bash KEVO, because I fuck with KEVO. KEVO my boy, 16 my boy too, I fuck with 16. But y'all trying to bash KEVO on that, you can't bash KEVO for that, gang. On gang. Because KEVO, real nigga, he got enough money that he put her in position and she failed. A nigga not, that's like me with the homies or whoever. I'm not finna keep doing nothing for you and you fail and you don't want to do nothing for yourself. You gotta make it make sense. You feel me? Like KEVO doing this thing, man. He riding around in Lambos and all that. Like shorty playing. You feel me? She chasing it, man. Now you doing these interviews on Say Cheese, 16, shot him, your new nigga. Like, no.
Make me some nachos.
I can't. No. That's why he left. Cause look at the conniving snake shit she just did once he kicked it to the curb. See what a motherfucker do? You don't understand. Motherfucker put you to the test to see what type of person you is.
And look, I'm gonna tell you.
Now you don't even understand. He might have just.
I'm gonna tell you this too. I bet you, if KEVO ain't got all this shit set up to where he told her to go fuck with 16 to learn shit about him. I want you to take this little hacking device with you. You know, this gonna get all this information that we need. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. If Kev didn't do that, she loved Kev enough to the point where if he call her and take her back or she could just be knowing this what type of nigga Kevin is. I know if I go get this information for him, he gonna fuck with me and take me back and we'll be good. You know what I'm saying? So this could be some shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Like if you ask me, I think KEVO got her on this shit. I think Kev got her doing this shit, bro. And gonna end up hacking this man's shit, something, you know what I'm saying? And it started because 16 shot him, interviewed some niggas who called KEVO a snitch. This how it started. He interviewed some niggas who called KEVO a snitch. And I'm telling you, KEVO read 48 Laws of Power, KEVO read Art of War. And I'm telling you how this book make you think. KEVO will send that bitch over there, sent this baby mama over there, get close to him, take this not tracking device but hacking device. You know what I'm saying? Once you get around this phone and all that shit, y'all doing what y'all do, you know what I'm saying? Hit the button, boom, boom, we gonna do this, you know what I'm saying? We gonna goddamn hack his ass. You bring me that information, we'll be cool. I'll fuck with you again. I forgive you for what you done, all that shit, even coming out about me, whatever. Now, if KEVO didn't have her do that, I guarantee you, if he get to thinking like that, he can hit her up. He can hit her up and tell her, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm beefing with you forever. Only way you can make this right is by doing this. You got close to the nigga now. I need you to do this. You know what I'm saying? And she gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? She gonna go back. She gonna do what she gotta do to get back with KEVO, because this the only reason why she's doing it, to get at him. And if that happened, 16 would be the one end up losing more than what he thought what he gained doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'll be fucked over because KEVO. What's gonna happen is KEVO might get all his information, hack his page, hack all this shit. Now 16 so mad, he ain't trying to take this on the chin. He like, fuck that, I'm finna go call, make a police, I'm sending somebody to jail. So once he do that, now what if 16 shot him? A snitch. So now KEVO's gonna post paperwork like, look at this nigga, he's snitching on my baby. He's snitching on me, you know what I'm saying? And y'all call me the snitch, and look at this nigga, he's snitching, you know what I'm saying? And then boom, now we done reversed the whole snitch shit. All the shit that motherfucker, the reason why this started because you called me a snitch and you ain't want to understand how that shit affect people without having paperwork and all that. Now I'm finna put you in that category so you can see what I'm saying. Because if y'all look at the interview they did together, you know what I'm saying, they still was kind of beefing, you know what I mean? Even though it was a cool interview, they still was, they was a little stream they did together, but they was steady going back and forth. They didn't have an understanding. The understanding wasn't clear.
Turned this back to see how you was gonna react. You fucked up, Diamond. Now you doing some op shit. Him and 16 shot him as ops. Now you fucking with 16 shot him, you got him on your page. That's some snake shit.
Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, that's
snake
some
shit. I don't
shit.
care what nobody talking about. Now you try to
KEVO
expose his
told
body and all that. No matter what, if he paid for the surgery to get his body like that or whatever, guess
KEVO just came out the shit with, I don't know if y'all, what's that dark skinned chick name with no ass, where she be bald, having a little bald head hairdos and shit, and she be twerking. She always going viral and shit on Instagram and all the social media places, Facebook and all that shit. And she got like a little funny bug look when she ain't got her shit did and all that, and she be making the best of that shit, you know what I'm saying? When she put on that little shit, she look good though, I ain't gonna lie, she look way better than what she looked when she just making them funny videos. But I forgot her name, I can't think of her name, but that's who KEVO told Dime to start hanging with her so she can get her YouTube up by hanging with her, because she got like 5-6 million followers, whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? And Dime allowed him to fuck her and all that shit. Well, he ended up fucking her and he allowed, she say she was cool with it or whatever, you know. It's like a long story, man. You'd have to go look at the interviews and all that shit, and then y'all will see like what I'm talking about. But yeah, this shit could be some old, nigga, we on your ass in a different way shit, nigga. I'm on some 48 laws of power or the war shit, and you sitting up here playing internet games. You don't even know what I'm about to do to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think KEVO got something playing bigger than this shit.
Guess what? That doesn't matter, man. He did what he did.
Was just
Guess
talking about
what?
how he was
Now he a sex symbol. All the bitches want to fuck him. They all in his DM
crazy
and
about
everything.
KEVO and let him.
He just
cheat
showed me
and
all
type
this.
shit.
You feel me? So y'all gotta understand, like, y'all playing. For real. 16, man. If you gonna do anything, me personally, bro, just fuck on her, bro. Don't be in no relationship with her, bro. I'm keeping it gangster, bro. It's your boy King Yella, man. Talking this with King Yella, man. Y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comment section.
Hey.
Y'all, man, I don't know, man. I'm just not feeling the 16 and KEVO shit. I'm not feeling Diamond. I don't. A female like that, bro, my mama. 16, she gonna do you the same way, gang.
What I just said. Let me see if 16 posted some more shit. I'm telling you, he probably didn't. He feeling that shit from the hackers and all that shit, so he probably ain't trying to do nothing else. I could be wrong though. There's one funny nigga, man. I knew he was gonna have music, man.
Now, before you think I'm crazy,
Alright. Shit, I hit you when I get to the door.
I don't go on his ass.
Yeah.
Boy, that nigga was in the bar with like, put some of that black powder shit on my shit, make me look young again. Hey, that shit had me crying. This nigga really finessing the whole internet. He on some, I don't think he'll even snitch. He might though. I think he'll snitch before he take a L, because it's already set up for him. YSL though, it ain't looking good for them. They got these boys doing dumb shit. They homies rather. Motherfucking nachos good as hell, boy. Let me see if I can see why all this shit started. This where it started at. This interview right here. Rico accuses BANDMAN KEVO of being a federal informant in their card cracking case. That's where it started at. Then that's where they.
Yeah, but look, you getting mad at the wrong people, bro. If somebody did that to me, I wouldn't get mad at the platform. Only way I get mad at the platform today is hating is if we had static before, and I feel like they had a reason to just be like, you know, like, but like with us, it wasn't that. So it's like, why would you be mad at me? Like, why not just? Like,
I wasn't listen.
For some sense, I wasn't the simplest paperwork. So it's like they say you snitch.
Only thing I wanted you to do at least come either with a second video. You know what I'm saying? Showing, because you a journalist. I'm not mad at you. My fans got mad at you. You know what I mean? And I just feel like you should came and said, you know, I looked into KEVO. You know what I mean? Because bro, what's the number one thing? We both know what's the number. You know what made me rich, bro? Is relationships, gang. Like, who would you rather build with? You rather build with some liars, or you rather build with somebody that could possibly, you know, be an opportunity for you? You know what I mean? Like, I could possibly be an opportunity for you. You know what I mean? Like, you just never know. And just you know, I don't know, bro. You know, I just look at it the big picture.
But this thing, I don't know who liars. Like, only people that know is the people that's involved, bro. Like, you know your truth, they know their truth. It's like,
okay.
Because on the internet, bro, everybody calling somebody a rat when it comes to y'all. It's like everybody calling each other rats. So it's like,
exactly. That's how you make that. That's why the documentary coming out. And me and my manager, we're gonna do a podcast. So long story short, I'm only gonna get on there with facts. You can't get on the show if you don't have this paperwork. And I need to be able to go on Pacer and look that shit right up. See, this the reason why I know.
That's why I say that's what I be trying to.
That's why I say put the links. At least put the links in there so they, man, if y'all want to know the truth about this, just go to the links to find out. Because I feel like if they get led it wrong, they're gonna say, oh well, 16 put him on his platform because 16 must know he's a rat, or 16 knows it. Then 16, man, rat. Now, KEVO didn't use, I know, but KEVO didn't use his platform and says 16 got caught with this, having sex with this. No, not constantly, bro. Listen.
It's like once you do it once, bro, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I don't know if you realize, like, saying something like that, bro, that's some people willing to kill.
And people willing to kill for it, saying they're right.
I ain't blatantly called you that. I never called you that until after you blatantly lied on me. And once you lied on me, I actually believe you told. Because in my head, I'm like, why did he lie out of all things? Like, why did he
That's just like, that's how I felt about you. When I'm like, this nigga saying that this, he gotta be against me. You understand what I'm saying? So we feel the same way. You don't feel no different about this. Huh?
You could have hit me, dude. Like how we talking now.
I get it. I get it. But this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. I'm only going off of the internet, and I'm feeling like, man, this nigga you never hit me up ever. So I'm like,
when I had issues with niggas, bro, I like, I don't just be like having fake animosity. Like, I don't be wanting to just be on the internet arguing, go back and forth. But
exactly, I don't do that either. I don't do. You gotta understand. I made it to this level for a reason. You know, I've been in Chicago for a long
I
time,
think
never got
bro,
robbed,
I
never
be
nothing
thinking
happened to
Bandman
me.
Kevo only reason
Don't have
he here is
problems
to
with
get my
nobody,
IP
you get what I'm
address.
saying? So I'm just letting you know, like, when people get on stuff and cap, it just cap, bro. Like, people just, you know how you have to have at least one hater that don't like you.
See, I just if it's like irrelevant, I don't respond. Like,
Yeah, but still, that's the way you handle it. Some people, I feel like you got a pretty decent platform. I feel like I was subscribed to you, right? You know what I mean? I was watching you. I'm like, damn, like this nigga going. I was shocked because I felt like what you were doing is very dangerous. Somebody's trying to link their name to me to help blow up their career, but they're a rat. It don't make sense to me. You feel me? It's like,
why in the process? Why lie on me though? Because like, you know, you said some shit about
no,
me.
but I felt like since 16 was lying, because you got real mad after the fact.
But I ain't say nothing crazy. Like,
listen. Remember, I was like, I say, what did I say in that post?
You said something like, I did it because I'm hating. And
yeah, I was just like, man, 16 got to be a hater to interview some people who is going against me. He didn't do his research.
But why is it the first thought when we ain't had no static? Like, what?
Gang, like nobody else. Because I felt like this. I felt like, I'm gonna be honest. I seen other hating interviews, and I seen you.
This shit here, May 5th. So after this is when they really got into it. That's why, like, I don't know. It could be like a finesse. They could be finessing the internet together, or maybe they really did get beef. He said he got some sugar in his tank. Which one? This shit crazy though.
You know, interacting with these type of other people that was hating us. You know what I'm saying? So I took it from maybe you was cool with other people, and you been feeling some type of way. Type shit.
My interviews, I do it like when I do interviews, it got nothing to do with my personal opinion. It's people that I interview that I don't even really like what they got going on for real. But I keep it business. I don't really operate with feelings with this shit. Like,
right.
It be our business. Like, even some people look at the Herb interview like, damn, how you do that with Herb? And people don't know.
I look at it like this though, bro. Like, as far as like, I'm very successful. You know what I mean? And I feel like I got successful like this for a reason. And I just feel like my name is already solid. No matter how much people hate to try to say this, is they know it's rumors, but some people like to run with the rumors. They don't want to spend that money and go to Pacer and look up a case. They rather just say, "Oh, he that." Just like you think that I made up a rumor. It's people was really inboxing me saying, "Man, he this, he that, he this, he that." So I just said, "All right, well, I'm gonna just say this." You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's just like, man, it's just like somebody said it.
When you was on the phone, that ain't what you just said, bro. I ain't gonna let you.
Listen. This basically what I'm saying. Somebody inboxed me, and I just ran with it. You get what I mean? I'm like, all right, somebody just inboxed me. Maybe they just hate. It was a fake page though, but I'm just like, okay, well, 16, he ain't like that. You get what I mean? But I'm just basically saying that why 16 ain't take down the video if he know that it's cap. You feel me?
That's the thing, bro. I don't know nothing. I still ain't did no research.
But this is what I'm saying.
I seen what you talking about with the 5K one. I seen that. I still.
How did you feel about that?
I just watched like a short part of the video. I honestly don't know. I ain't clicked no link. Like, you know, PDFs, you can edit shit. So I'm not saying it's fake or real, but like, I don't know. Like, I'm not like this. What y'all, when I do interviews, bro, I'm not doing interviews to figure out who a rat or not, bro. Like, because right now I'm not in the streets doing no street shit. So like,
me either though. Listen, they're just like this. Okay, like let's for instance, I'm not a gangbanger. I'm not nothing. But you see how like everything escalated as far as when you got it to me. I didn't get into it with you. I didn't too much care about it. But when I spoke back to this closely. I don't know if you know like deep down on who I am or whatever, but I got a whole lot of like, I represent for like the anonymous world, the hacker world. You get what I'm saying? So
I'm gonna go back a little bit. Now, y'all listen to this closely, bro. This is some 48 laws of power shit. This is a threat, but it's not a legal threat. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is literally a threat. Like, he's trying to let 16 know, like, nigga, keep playing with me. Like, let's listen. This is a threat, but the naked eye wouldn't catch it. You know what I'm saying? This is some 48 laws of power, son, auto war shit.
But I got a whole lot of like, when I spoke back to you, Everything escalated as far as when you got into me. I didn't get into it with you. I didn't too much care about it. But
all the way from this.
On those street shit. So
me either though. Listen, that's just like this. Okay, like let's for instance, I'm not a game banger. I'm not nothing. But you see how like everything escalated as far as when you got into me. I didn't get into it with you. I didn't too much care about it. But when I spoke back to you, I don't know if you know like deep down on who I am or whatever, but I got a whole lot of like, I represent for like the anonymous world, the hacker world. You get what I'm saying? So when it comes to that, like, I'm not doing nothing to you, but people got my back. Just like if you called your block or your hood or whatever, and you know they got your back. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's just like I'm not starting all this just crazy stuff that's going on. You know what I mean? I don't got niggas trying to figure you out or where you at, your IP or, bro. It's just the point of. It's just like people feel like. That's why I don't respond to a lot of people, bro. It's a lot of hate that go on the internet about me, a lot of rumors. But I just felt like by you being from Chicago, by you having your platform, why would you give opportunity to people? Now I'm not saying you knew, but I say you should know, because KEVO would never put nobody on his platform to bash 16, and he's trying to be an up and coming big blogger soon. You know what I mean? I want you to make millions. I ain't no hater. I'm not gonna say, oh, you don't like 16? Okay, well, let me put you on let niggas come on because I'm doing podcasts. Let them motherfucker come on here and bash you the whole time on your podcast, bro.
That's what you just said you was gonna do on the live. Like you just said you
finna.
Bro, I didn't do that though, gang. I didn't do it.
Jolly Ranchers.
I didn't do that though. You know what I mean? Like I said, whatever I said, bro, it's all out the window. It's not true. You know what I mean?
Whatever soda you like. But I got the juice. Ooh, we pineapple juice. I ain't even let y'all hear the threat. Did y'all hear the threat?
Yeah, but look, you getting mad at the wrong people, bro. If somebody did that to me, I wouldn't
go back to part 2.
Somebody's trying to link their name.
Now look, listen to the threat. He said, I represent for the anonymous world.
I don't know if you know like deep down on who I am or whatever, but I got a whole lot of like, I represent for like the anonymous world, the hacker world. You get what I'm saying? So when it comes to that, like, I'm not doing nothing to you, but people got my back. Just like if you called your block or your hood or whatever, and you know they got your back. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's just like I'm not starting all this just crazy stuff that's going on. You know what I mean? I don't got niggas trying to figure you out or where you at or your IP or, bro. It's just the point of. It's just like people feel like that's why I don't respond to a lot of people, bro. It's a lot of hate that go on the internet about me, a lot of rumors. But I just felt like by you being from Chicago, by you having your platform, why would you give opportunity to people? Now I'm not saying you knew, but I say you should know, because KEVO would never put nobody on his platform to bash 16, and he's trying to be an up and coming big blogger soon. You know what I mean? I want you to make millions. I ain't no hater. I'm not gonna say, oh, you don't like 16? Okay, well, let me put you on let niggas come on because I'm doing podcasts. Let a motherfucker come on here and bash you the whole time on your podcast, bro.
That's what you just said you was gonna do on the live. Like you just said you finna.
Bro, I didn't do that though, gang. I didn't do podcast, bro.
That's what you just said you was gonna do on the live. Like you just said you finna.
Bro, I didn't do that though, gang. I didn't do it. I didn't do that though. And you know what I mean? Like I said, okay, well, let me put you on let niggas come on because I'm doing podcasts. Let a motherfucker come on here.
Yeah, but look, you getting mad at the wrong people, bro. If somebody did that to me, I wouldn't get mad at the platform. Only way I get mad at the platform they did is hating is if we had static before, and I feel like they had a reason to just beat, like, but like with us, it wasn't that. So it's like, why would you be mad at me? Like, why not just? Like,
I wasn't. Listen,
for some sense, it's the simplest paperwork. So it's like they say you snitched.
Only thing I wanted you to do, at least come either with a second video. You know what I'm saying? Showing, because you a journalist. I'm not mad at you. My fans got mad at you. You know what I mean? And I just feel like you should came and said, I looked into KEVO. You know what I mean? Because, bro, what's the number one thing? We both know what's the number. You know what made me rich, bro, is relationships, gang. Like, who would you rather build with? You rather build with some liars, or you rather build with somebody that could possibly be an opportunity for you? You know what I mean? Like, I could possibly be an opportunity for you. You know what I mean? Like you just never know. And just you know, I don't know, bro. You know, I just look at it the bigger picture.
But that's the thing. I don't know who liars. Like only people that know is the people that's involved, bro. Like you know your truth, they know their truth. It's like
okay,
because on the internet, bro, everybody calling somebody a rat when it comes to y'all. It's like everybody calling each other rats. So it's like
exactly. That's how you fix that. That's why the documentary coming out. And me and my manager, we finna do a podcast. So long story short, I'm only going to get on there with facts. You can't get on the show if you don't have this paperwork. And I need to be able to go on Pacer and look that shit right up. See, this the reason why I know.
That's why I said the links. That's what I be trying to
that's why I say put the links. At least put the links in there so they, man, if y'all want to know the truth about this, just go to the links to find out. Because I feel like if they get led it wrong, they're going to say, oh, well, 16 put him on his platform because 16 must know he's a rat, or 16 knows it. Then 16, man, rat. Now, KEVO didn't use I know, but KEVO didn't use his platform and says 16 got caught with this, having sex with this. No, not constantly, bro. Listen.
It's like once you do it once, bro, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I don't know if you realize, like saying something like that, bro, that's some people willing to kill over.
And like, people willing to kill for it, saying they a rat.
But I ain't blatantly called you that. I never called you that until after you blatantly lied on me. And once you lied on me, I actually believe you told. Because in my head, I'm like, why did he lie to all things? Like, why didn't
that's just like that's how I felt about you. I'm like, this nigga saying that this, he gotta be against me. You understand what I'm saying? So if we feel the same way. You don't feel no different about them.
Yes,
huh?
Could have hit me. Like how we talking now.
I get it. I get it. But this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. I'm only going off of the internet, and I'm feeling like, man, this nigga you never hit me up ever. So I'm like,
when I had issues with niggas, bro, I like don't just be like having fake animosity. Like I don't be wanting to just be on the internet arguing, go back and forth. But
exactly, I don't do that either. You gotta understand. I made it to this level for a reason. You know, I've been in Chicago for a long time, never got robbed, never nothing happened to me. Don't have problems with nobody. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just letting you know, like, when people get on stuff and cap, it just cap, bro. Like, people just, you know how you have to have at least one hater that don't like you.
See, I just, if it's like irrelevant, I don't respond.
That's like, what I'm saying. But still, that's the way you handle it. Some people, I feel like you got a pretty
decent. That's what I'm trying to tell niggas.
I feel like
nigga
I was
push you, he can punch you
back.
You don't got to push you
right?
back.
You know what I mean? I was watching you. I'm like, damn, like this nigga going. I was shocked because I felt like what you were doing is very dangerous.
And we both even. Shoot you might be a little excessive. You know what I mean? Y'all get it.
So the person that told that's.
Yeah, man. That shit.
Somebody's trying to link their name to me.
You know, that was them trying to hash it out. It started with him doing an interview with one of BANDMAN KEVO enemies and him calling him a snitch on his platform. And it led all the way up to this shit. But like I said, I feel like Buddy gotta, you know, I feel like Buddy got a bigger plan with this shit. Let's see how it ended. Matter of fact, that's the real.
He was playing with the feds. He was lying to the feds.
Don't strike me 16, man. I'm just a motherfucker.
Bro,
trying to see
do you know how bad? I'm gonna tell you like how the government. So how you had time for that? Like, as soon as you come in, there's so much talent out there, bro.
Y'all go check it out. I just want to see what note they ended on to see if
like the same. But I know Chicago not gonna get you there because so many people are negative and hate. You can have a store out there and they go right next door to your store and won't shop at your store because it's 16. But to come to my store because you know I'm a different color or they're gonna feel like, oh well, I'm giving 16 money. I don't want to give 16 money, but I'll give this guy money that's a different race. You know what I mean? Chicago kind of like that, and it's just how it goes. I came straight to Miami. Everybody I link out with, every time I get with somebody, they're talking about money. They're talking about success. They're talking about this, that, ways to get ahead.
16 got
you don't hear that all the time. It's just,
yeah,
man, you seen that, you heard this, you heard that. It's a rumor. It's that. It's this. It ain't never like street, you know, next level type shit. So that's why I really came to where I came, bro. Like, and as far as LA, I'm getting me a crib out there too. You know, something just to be able to go back and forth because all the labels out there. So I'm gonna have to be working out there anyway. So it's decent. But shit, we gonna figure it out though, my boy. Just shit. Like I said, man, if y'all don't if y'all definitely messing with 16 page, man, just for me, please just leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just trying to see each other grow and shit. You know, I don't got nothing against bro. He don't got nothing against me. He's doing his job. And at the same time, the haters, man, they just gonna be haters. Like, we can't stop it. You feel me? Shit, they gonna do what they do.
So hopefully when documentary come out, all this shit get killed, man.
Yeah, bro. I can't wait to drop it. I'm so thirsty because I'm just tired of the rumors, bro. And I'm gonna make it so major that people gonna say, nah, bro, I seen the documentary, you capped. You know what I'm saying? So that's my goal, though. I gotta be able to fix that myself. Otherwise, these niggas gonna just keep jumping interview to interview, and you know what I'm saying? Trying to get fake news out and all that type of stuff, though, bro. I don't got time for it. So I'm gonna just spend a little $400,000 and just in all that. You feel me?
Trying to protect it.
But I appreciate it, though, bro. We gonna get it right.
For sure.
With me, you know, it'll be, if it ain't true, I don't give a fuck. But if I can confront it and I do it, you know, I ain't gonna run from it. But at the end of the day, like, whatever ain't true, I ain't finna give it my energy. Unless, you know, the fans are asking for me to do that. If they wanna see me give it the energy, they wanna, you know what I'm saying? If that's what they want, I give it to them. KD won out already. I don't believe that shit. And he said he the top dog after that little weak ass fight. What y'all think about the boxing game, man? I say Tank at the top right now, man. Canelo done got beat. Tank, he like the new Mayweather when it comes to this shit. If Ryan Garcia and Tank fight, that'll be a big ass fight. It'll actually be the biggest fight since a Mayweather fight, probably. There go Dime, a person steady playing with my channel. You know who that person is. Let's review that shit. This is a review under fair use, Dime.
Nothing about y'all. Y'all already know how I feel about y'all, and I'm so happy to see y'all. Fair about not getting them, because she definitely was like adamant that she wanted those cheese sticks, so.
I don't think she's gonna talk around the kid.
Close at 5 p.m. I just don't like when employees do that. Like, and I know it may have been 30 minutes. Shy, stop. To work like it was fake or something. Just know that didn't come from me. That's somebody trying to play on my page because they trying to like run me off the internet, and I'm not going because they don't control this dang internet, so nobody finna push me off the internet. That's just me being honest. But anyway, I had a topic that I wanted to talk about, and honestly, I want to have this discussion because I want y'all to know like where my mindset is, and I also want y'all opinion on it, right? So I want to come on here and talk about why I feel like relationships don't work. Like, I already know.
Oh, this one she said, yeah, this shit said.
And my end goal.
This shit, May 27th, she talking about crush update, and then she just came out and 16 shot him was the crush. This shit definitely some setup ass shit.
Oh, like I know I can't do certain things, not even.
Why would you just have a crush on 16?
Enjoying me too. That two people have to be willing to compromise. You're not gonna find like whatever your list is in your head about what you feel like is your.
Knock it.
You get to go on trips. Hey, dude, it's just me being honest. Like, I've been very unhappy for a long time. That's why I know money doesn't fulfill me. I want to make sure, like, I like him for him. Like, I'm just on here being super sweet and capped out, but, like, that's genuinely how I feel. Because for even caught my attention, it was so naturally, like, so unforced.
So, you know, it's like, I ain't gonna say she got soft skin. I'm just gonna say, like, why's your comments off? I think that's even like part of I don't know. For some reason, I know you make less money if you turn your comments off. Maybe I'm wrong, because it's for kids, and kids don't buy commercials. Don't click on commercials and buy shit. This man been getting motherfuckers Instagram deleted that boy there.
Where?
No, she getting commercials. So I wonder what it could be. Oh, the comments. Yep, they still on.
You already know how I am about y'all. You already know how I feel about y'all. And I'm so happy to see y'all.
Shit. I just wanted to see what the title said. It says she's back in the working world. So she was a stay-at-home mom.
Hey, my dad.
That's where her Instagram account allegedly deleted.
We bring life into this world. That's like a superpower. We got superpowers. So hey y'all. So I just want to come back.
We actually put
Ain't about to let.
You can't bring it into the world without us putting it in you. It's in us. We carry the life around with us until we ready to put it in one of y'all. Dead. So we got superpowers.
Is who I'm rocking with.
I got superpowers, but we got.
Which are y'all, because
we got the superpower that allows.
Nobody break me. I don't.
Let me say that we got the superpower that allow y'all to have superpowers. Juice. What is it called? Little baby, ooh wee lemonade pineapple mango with a little dirty in it. Yeah, Mike, I think it's all staged for the page. Yeah.
I don't care what type of games people try, what type of obstacles you face, what type of sticks and stones the devil try to throw at you. Like, keep God first and just step out on faith.
I can dig it, baby girl. I can dig it, baby girl. He said 16 sleeps with men, and he had.
Documents ain't hard to find. Don't be dumb. Don't be dumb. Don't think that you. If that was the case, 6ix9ine, rich as hell, he would have hid that he was a snitch. Don't be dumb. Don't be dumb now. It's out here. You can find it. 16 wanted that. He wanted them clicks and them likes and them views. So he just seen the motherfucker that was a part of the case, and he like, well, they just co-defendant shit, and just let them niggas get on there and just say anything and just lie. That's the thing. Feel me?
Ooh wee.
So if a nigga ain't show you no black and white,
in the shade,
saying a nigga name, ain't, then listen, this is another thing.
Pineapple mango.
I got a jail in 2019, 2022. Why would the hell somebody would get on 16 right now in 2022 talking about some snitch shit? It would have been came out. Why would you get on your channel? Why would you let a nigga get on your channel excited, happy, laughing, head down?
You drinking, you already.
Come on, bro. That don't even sound right. That's how you know it's like some cap shit. Niggas is just saying, man, the nigga a rat and this and that. Nobody is gonna, unless you're a fucking goofy, nobody is gonna believe it, bro, because people are smart. Niggas is not just, then the nigga gonna say, this is how he trying to get the clicks. He gonna say, man, yeah, man, bro, the clicks, I mean, he basically put the captions in as far as like the way he try to caption his shit, like, oh, this guy accused BANDMAN KEVO of being this. The whole time he made the fucking caption. You feel me? Like, niggas be like weird like that type shit. You know what I'm saying? Trying to eat off niggas. That's what that be.
Duh.
But like I said, that's the whole reason why I just spent damn near $400,000 for a raw ass documentary. And the funny part is, I wasn't even gonna mention like 16 shots. You know what I mean? In a, you know, a part of the fake blogger, You know, because I was exposing a whole lot of fake ass bloggers, you know what I mean? Niggas that be posting fake news that people should stop fucking with, because these the type of niggas that got the world corrupt and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? So I just look at it like, you know what I'm saying? We just gotta stay away from these type of people though, bro. As far as niggas doing their interviews with these type of niggas, and whole times, it's like, these niggas can't even afford to, that's why they doing all types of weird ass shit. That's how I knew for a fact he was fucking with a tranny, because like, bro, you doing weird shit. You put anybody on your page for literally views and clicks and likes. So I'm just like, well, yeah, I know he'd do some weird ass shit, because dude ass weird as hell. You know what I'm saying? So this how dumb a lot of the people is though, bro. They'll listen to a person and believe anything somebody say without facts. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you gotta understand that niggas will say anything just to say something. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it don't be true. So now if it don't be true, you think 16 finna say, oh man, my bad, bro. I found out you wasn't a snitch and my bad. No, this goofy ass nigga still gonna try to get the clicks. He's try to, you know what I'm saying, get money off some bullshit ass lies. And that's the thing though, bro. You know what I mean? So you gotta pay attention to weird ass niggas like that. You dig? But at the end of the day, man, this is what comes with success. What comes with success is a whole lot of like, you know what I'm saying, hating ass niggas. Even a niggas supposed to be growing their business. You know, my thing is to 16, a nigga that's trying to grow his business. You trying to grow your business, but you sitting there knocking all the, you basically he probably don't think it, but he low-key trying to knock the Chicago rappers in the city. He using other niggas to try to bring down other niggas, and it don't fucking work. Then get mad if a nigga try to bring his dumb ass down. Like, yeah, nigga gonna get some tea on you too, because it ain't hard to find no tea on your weird ass, you feel me? So when niggas clout chase, you clout chase back with them. Like, all right, cool, I know some shit on you. If you think you know some shit on me with no proof, so I can get some shit on you with no proof. But I got proof. That's the difference. You get what I'm saying? Because money talk. Niggas got money. Money make anything happen. Which I'm knowing this dummy know that.
He's saying he got footage. You get
what I'm saying? So anytime you trying to get on you gonna get on the channel and just let niggas say anything. First thing 16 supposed to did was, hey man, y'all say y'all know BANDMAN KEVO, right? All right, cool. Well, y'all say he a snitch. All right, well shit. Y'all got some paperwork real quick before I do the interview? That's the first thing I would have did. Man, where's paperwork at? Because shit, I'm pretty sure that nigga got some paperwork. He doing a whole paperwork party documentary. Paperwork party documentary. Not no rumors party documentary. Not no he say, she say documentary. A $400,000 documentary. The same $400,000 that I could have put in to try to fuck up 16 shots whole career. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. Like, niggas is dumb as hell. That's why I say niggas just be goofy as hell, like just trying to do little weird shit and think that they just so tough and like just weird as fuck to me. Like, bro, your ass a weirdo, bro. Like, anytime a nigga just on here just capping like he just, man, man, watch out, bro. I'm gonna make sure your dumb ass, you feel me? Yeah. You gonna definitely learn, you gonna definitely not clout chase. Trust me.
He said he gonna not clout chase. He couldn't get them words together. I can dig it though. He's mad as a motherfucker. I wonder if this was like pre-surgery or something. That's what I wanted to look up, but I ain't trying to just like feel like I'm bashing the nigga. I just wanted to cause I'm pretty sure I saw a lot of videos of him talking about how he worked out to get in shape. But I don't think like doctors can record you unless you make a deal with them that you're gonna get them some promo in the future.
Everybody gonna have some haters. You know what I'm saying? We all gonna have haters, like especially from your hometown. Your hometown is gonna be your like biggest place where majority of your haters gonna come from, which is great, but it doesn't stop anything. It doesn't. Every single rapper, every single singer, everybody go through being hated on. That's cool. But as long as you making that money, it doesn't matter. As long as that person that's hating on you don't got what you got, you sleep great.
Message. Man. Let's see, 15-year-old who left alone by rappers took him off. I ain't never seen this.
Young man.
Hi. What's the next witness going to testify to?
You're right, he's a young man. He's just turned 15 years of age. He met Mr. Williams when he was 8 years of age. He was selling CDs in the Perimeter Mall. Mr. Williams, he was in poverty. He's from Jackson, Mississippi. His family's here as well in your courtroom. Mr. Williams explained to him that...
Hang tight. Mr. Steele, if it is your goal to establish that Mr. Williams has significant ties in the community, I believe that you've established that to the court's satisfaction. Not that I don't want to hear your witnesses, but it's cumulative at this point in time. I mean, if that's the purpose of these next witnesses, unless they go to some other bond factor, you know, I'm kind of really at this point in time, I'm not really interested in hearing from him at this point.
Well, he goes to more to a different factor, Your Honor.
And what is that?
Danger to the community, which is what I thought the state is arguing.
Okay, all right. If he's going to danger the community, all right. Come on up, young man. Please approach witness stand. Once you get there, if you'd be so kind and turn face Deputy Talton, just be sworn.
He was trying to keep him from going up there.
Hold it for you. Okay, go ahead.
Raise your right hand.
I know, Thug, like, why you got them crazy ass lines in your head?
Yes, sir. State and spell the first name.
Corey Jackson, C-O-R-E-Y-J.
Yeah, man.
A-C-K-S-O-N.
Good
Some
afternoon,
of them
Mr.
real
Jackson.
persons too.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
It's Birkin, so fucking what?
It's up to the court. And it's also up to you if you want to take off your mask with the honorable court's permission. If you want to keep it on, you absolutely keep it on.
Okay.
Your choice, young man.
I'd like to take it out then.
Mr. Jackson, introduce yourself to the court. Tell the court what you do.
Well, I'm Corey Jackson. I'm a recording artist, motivational speaker.
I know you like, man, why the fuck you have to cut your hair like that?
And are you in school?
You look like a thug
Yes, sir.
somewhat.
What grade are you in?
I'm in the 11th as of right now.
And you're 15 in the 11th grade?
Yes, sir.
How did you do that?
Well, I'm homeschooled and I stay up on my studies and I work on that.
Do you remember meeting a gentleman named Mr. Jeffrey Williams?
Most definitely, yes, sir.
Do you see him on this honorable court's Zoom screen?
Yes, sir.
And how did you meet Mr. Williams?
Well, the first time I ever met him was in the mall. It was in Cumberland Mall. I was probably 8 or 9 at the time. I had first met him with my music and I approached him and I didn't know who he was. But later on that day, after I had met him, I found out who he was as far as an artist, and I found out more about him. And then when I really met him and we made the connection, made the bond, was later on when I was like 10 or 11 years old at the time.
And were you in, I know it's personal, but were you in poverty at that time, if you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir, I understand what you mean.
And where were you living at that time?
Well, I'm from Jackson, Mississippi originally, so down there it's called Cromwell Street, Shady Oaks.
You already got your mind made up, Bill.
And is your father in the courtroom?
Yes, sir.
And other family members?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell this honorable court if Mr. Williams ever took you to where he was raised on Cleveland Avenue.
Yes, sir, he has.
And tell the court what you learned from that and what the purpose was.
Well, at the time, he took me there because I always expressed to him how me being at such a young age and being able to achieve what I have and have the knowledge that I do have, that's why I started motivational speaking, because I want to inspire the youth and show them that anything is possible. Because you can look at somebody while they're older and you say, oh, that's good, they doing it, but now you have an example that's your age and close and close to you in age to showing you that it's possible. And Mr. Williams, he took me to where he was from. And he showed me where he came from. He showed me the property that he lived in. And he told me, a saying, each one teach one, which is something that he lives by. He has also helped instill in me that I live by now. Each one teach one. And he told me whatever knowledge you have to be able to spread it, because this is who you are trying to inspire and show them that they can become successful. So that is what he took me there for, and to show me how he was able to achieve what he has and where he comes from, and what I have to do if I want to motivate more young people like me.
And tell this honorable court whether you have gone across
You need to
our
get up in that
country
bitch and cry.
talking to other students, people your age and younger at schools.
Yes, sir, I have. I've did different things like different school tours and doing motivational speeches for different organizations like the Boys and Girls Club and different things of that nature, and different youth centers, detention centers, of course, schools. Yes, sir, I have.
And has Mr. Williams put upon you the duty that you have to always be positive and try to get other people not to do crime?
Yes, sir, he has, and he has always motivated me in that goal and that mission. He has always showed me that path and always deterred me from anything that could be negative or affect me in a negative way. He always deterred me from that and showed me the right way and showed me a positive way to do anything I have going on.
Exactly.
Has Mr. Williams taken you on tour with him, with your family's permission, or taking your family?
Yes, sir, he has.
And if you can remember, what are some of the places that you went with Mr. Williams?
Atlanta, Georgia, Los Angeles, California, St. Louis, Chicago, New York. I've been to New Orleans with them before, many different places, Tampa, and some more places. It's been a lot.
Houston, Texas?
Houston, Texas, Dallas, Texas.
Okay. And have you been on stage with Mr. Williams and talking to people about all positive, motivating, and positive direction?
Well, yes, sir, I have been on stage with them, and we have also made motivational videos with motivational messages.
And when you go to schools, is that with Mr. Williams' request?
Yes, sir.
And what do you tell the other children when you're there?
Well, first I speak on my 5 keys to success, which are hard work, determination, dedication, motivation, and ambition. And I show them how you can utilize, if you are utilizing these 5 keys to success, how you yourself can become successful. And that is also what he helps and he sponsors me with. And when I go to schools, I also speak on things that aren't at this age in life taught, because while you're in school, you're going off of your report card. But when you get out of school, you're going to go off your credit report. And that's why I also teach and speak on financial literacy.
Mr. Jackson, do you ever have conversations with Mr. Williams about your, the way you are outlooked, and it has to be positive, as opposed to some people look at him with the name, quote, young thug. Does he ever explain to you that not to do that?
Well, actually, we have had conversations, and he has been very vocal about not liking the image that is associated with the name Young Thug, because whenever you picture that, you assume, he's a thug. And that's why we have talked, he has discussed with me how he would like to reevaluate and reshape his image into his name, Jeffrey, and how he would like to go forth with that being his name, and that's what people associate with him, Jeffrey, instead of the image of Young Thug.
Is it Mr. Williams' communications with you that he wishes that people do not do drugs or alcohol or be a danger to the community?
Yes, sir. He has expressed that to me, and he has also expressed that to many others.
And does he use you as a lightning rod to express it to other people?
Yes, sir. He has, and he still does.
What is YS? Are you a member of YSL?
Well, I'm not signed to the label on papers.
What is YSL to you?
Well, to me, YSL is a family. To me, YSL is, ever since I first met him, it's been all love, all respect, and it has been pure. And for me, when we spoke on it, other than, the name of the label, Young Stoner Life Records, I told him my YSL means Young Successful Life, because that's something that he has created. He is a young successful man himself, but also he is helping more young men and young women have successful lives, such as myself, for example. And that's why my YSL stands for Young Successful Lives, because that is what he has done, and that is what he is now creating and showing and putting into the community.
Sir, has Mr. Williams' tutoring and guidance to you taken you out of poverty and your family?
Yes, sir, it has.
Has Mr. Williams ever asked you for a nickel?
Got the praying hands up.
No, sir, he has never asked for no profit or proceeds from anything that he has helped contribute with. Never.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, Ms. Edwards has a very short video that relates to Mr. Jackson.
Okay, what's it supposed, I mean, he's testified here, so it's kind of like, so.
It'll explain background.
I don't see the dangerousness in this, Mr. Steele. I mean, he's certainly
that judge bogus as
buttresses
hell.
again what I have indicated earlier, which is he has significant ties. He's helped a number of people in the
Let him see the video.
but I don't see the danger of the community that you promised me from this from the testimony.
He's the opposite. I think that my promise is good. Mr. Jackson is saying that the entirety of Mr. Williams' desires is that people do not commit crime, do drugs, do violence, and to stay in school. That pinpoints the whole danger community is risk of crime, risk of committing crime. He's doing the exact, he's Mr. Williams through, along with Mr. Jackson, diametrically opposed.
Okay, all right. But this video, you want to show me, how long is it?
2 minutes.
And what's he going to show me?
He'll show you Mr. Jackson on the Ellen Show. He'll show him on CNN. He'll show him interacting with Mr. Williams, interacting at schools, just to give you an idea of how this message is all across the country.
I think he's testified that more significantly. I mean, I'll accept the video as proof of that, further proof of that particular issue, but I think Mr. Jackson here has well articulated that issue.
Okay.
Okay.
Then I have no other questions for Mr. I want to thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, sir, and thank you, Your Honor, for allowing me the time to come and speak.
Oh, you're very welcome, young man. Any questions, Mr. Geary? No, sir. All right, young man.
Right, they treat this man like he's a fucking
gallery if you like.
Love a good sunroof. Or is it a...
They got Jeffrey up in there like he's a super savage, bro. Oh, Kevin Lyle spoke there? Oh, we gotta watch that. So the record company's coming through for him.
Your Honor, I'd like to proffer the next person then.
Okay, who's your proffer?
Your Honor,
hey,
she
Judge,
would like to be
man,
identified as Diamond, D-I-A-M-O-N-D. I have a video of her, a news video if you want to see it, but in the sake of time, but we have that if you want to see it. She is, she was raised on Cleveland Avenue. She lost her child, her son, to gun violence. He was murdered. She heads a team to stop gun violence. She is partnered with Travion Martin's mother, Breonna Taylor's mother, and unfortunately countless other persons known and unknown who've lost family members to violence. And Mr. Jeffrey Williams, she would testify, is instrumental with trying to stop gun violence and trying to get people not to think that this is a video game and shooting is okay, and that everybody needs to speak about their controversies and their disputes and put down the guns. And she wanted that to be known, and there is a video if you want to see it, but otherwise that is my proffer.
I'll accept your proffer. That's fine, sir.
Your Honor, next is a witness here, Mr. Kevin Wiles, which is L-I-L-E-S, and he has known Mr. Williams
It's bogus as hell too.
Since Mr.
He really
Williams
supposed to be
has
up there
been,
considering the shit, like trying to really uphold the law the right way, consider it.
Just an adult, and
see,
we'd like him to come and talk about the factors for bond. He is with the record label, Your Honor, and he has come here to give testimony on behalf of Mr. Williams, and he flew here from, he was out of state. He lives in New York, but I don't know where he flew here from.
All right, where's Mr. Lyon?
He is right here, Your Honor.
Hi, Mr. Lyles, good afternoon, sir. If you can please approach the witness stand. Once you get there, be so kind and turn and face Deputy Talton and be sworn as a witness. Before you sit down.
Y'all know Kevin Lyles. Big time record is music today.
State and spell your first and last name.
Kevin Lyles, Kevinliles.
Good afternoon, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Steele?
I'll let you know. Can you do me a favor and give this honorable court, educate this honorable court on who you are, your background? The court may not be familiar.
Your Honor, I'm a 54-year-old father of 4. I'm kind of emotional because how good this guy is. I have Morgan State University. I built a stadium in my old school. I have a street named after me. I have all kind of honorary doctorates. I employed probably 5,000 people. I was the president and CEO of Def Jam. I've been in this music called hip hop for 38 years. And for the life of me, I don't understand why I have to testify the good that hip hop has done around the world. I've also started a company with Jeffrey called Young Stoner Life. And I remember what he said to me. We're not just starting a company, we're gonna change some lives. And that's what he's done. And he's definitely changed mine.
Mr. Lyles, how long have you known Mr. Williams?
Well, I was a fan for probably 12 years, but I personally got to know him over the last 10 years.
Okay. And have you signed, or your company signed Mr. Williams?
Yes, he signed to us. And I hate to say that he signed to us because it's my partner, but we have 2 deals. One deal is a deal for him as an artist, solo artist, and the other deal is for Young Stoner Life.
And I know this is personal, but financially, there's been testimony that if this trial, and I'm not saying the court would allow it, but if it doesn't take place for a year, there'd be over $1 million in expenses just for 24-hour security of police officers to ensure, off-duty police officers' second jobs to ensure Mr. Williams does not flee, does not get types of weapons, does not intimidate a witness, is not a danger to community or property in the community. Can he afford, from your personal knowledge and how much money he earns, can he afford that type of undertaking?
Jeffrey can afford it, and I can afford it, so it will be paid for.
And you are willing to back him as well?
I'm willing to back him personally and professionally.
Okay.
How to escape the heat if you don't...
Got Kevin Lyles, what? Kevin Lyles bag big. How they let Young Boy go, and not him?
Please explain, if you can, and discuss fully how your life intersected with Mr. Williams' life.
My job is to seek out talented people. And I think God brought us together in a very weird way, but I think we were meant to be together. Jeffrey is not just an artist. He's an influencer. He is a person that I think was put here to change the people around him. And he's so talented. He's creative, he's innovative, and he's fearless. He's a risk taker. And those kind of people, I call them change agents. I'm not signing just artists, I'm raising a young man. He looks at me as a father figure. He's not, like I said, we can't limit it to just his lyrics or his music. He's a young man, and he will be a contributing citizen to this world, and that's what I invest in. And I truly believe this whole thing that people are talking about, it's not him. The Jeffrey I know, the Jeffrey I know give me clothes off his back. The Jeffrey I know, I can give him my kids, he can give me his kids. That's the Jeffrey I know.
You mentioned lyrics. There's been a lot of argument by the prosecution about the lyrics and songs. Can you explain, if you have any insight, what is selling in the rap industry dealing with the lyrics, and why are they being promoted, and why are people wanting?
Your Honor, you've I don't know how old you are, but older than you. So I've been fighting this battle for over 40 years. It's not new, and it's funny how we're the #1 music in the world now, and they want to bring this back up. Now, we don't argue about any other movies or other genres of music that talk about I ran them over in my truck, or I got drunk and I went and shot him. We don't bring those things to court. But quote unquote, our music, we've been on trial. And we constantly on trial about who we are, what we are, and why we're. And nobody gave us nothing. So we sit here on trial, we talk about lyrics. Lyrics, I don't understand the thing, but I will be here and I'm gonna keep fighting for it because I believe self-expression, and I believe we should protect Black art. We should protect Black art. And I'm on trial for lyrics. Come on, man.
With regards to Mr. Williams, and the court may not be familiar, where does he rank in, if there is such a ranking, in the music industry?
Objection, that's not relevant to anything.
Shows his employment status as part of the Ayala factors and whether the record company is going to continue to back him.
I think you've already established that through the witness areas, his record needs to potentially be on alternative police.
Okay. You understand that Mr. Williams was charged in 2018 in DeKalb County with a offense of involving, he was riding in a car with 2 other people, and there was a gun and a small amount of drugs in the car. Are you familiar with what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay, and you know that case, it's still pending, believe it or not, but it went up to the appellate court. I don't know, are you familiar with all that?
Yes.
Everything was suppressed by the Honorable Superior Court judge in another county, and then the state appeal got reversed and it's pending. You're aware of that?
Yes.
Okay. So Mr. Williams is actually on bond for that case.
Okay.
The allegation also entails the fact that when Mr. Williams was arrested at the home here in Atlanta, a search warrant was then executed at that home, and there were multiple firearms. One firearm is allegedly illegal. It turned into like a machine gun, and there was supposedly about 2 pounds of marijuana and some items in, looks like an energy drink, but it supposedly contains either Schedule 2, 3, or 4 drugs in it, codeine, supposedly. You familiar with that?
I read it.
Okay. Understanding all those facts, the DeKalb County case, current bond, and the search of the home, you're also aware that many other people were in that house at the time of the search warrant, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to ask you the following questions in addition to the fact that we are charging 2 counts in this current indictment. You're familiar with the Rico conspiracy and the gang
Yes.
count? Okay. On your oath, would you be willing to back with your own personal property and wealth, as well as your own company's personal property and wealth, the bond for Mr. Williams, if the Honorable Court wanted a high bond?
Objection, Judge, it's past the answer. The witness actually has already stated that, and I agree.
Yeah, he already said he put up
it.
his own and his company's resources, so it's an outstanding objection.
Would you be willing, okay, if it's the same question, just, I apologize, but I thought it's a different question. You have to understand that you would, if the court wanted to, you would lose that wealth if Mr. Williams violated condition of bond. I mean, it's not just go on bond with Mr. Williams in custody, you're released. The court could have you signed as a co-signer on that bond, and you would actually have a lien against your wealth if Mr. Williams violated condition of bond. Are you still willing to do that?
Like a son to me, yes.
Okay. Without hesitation, obviously.
Without hesitation.
All right. Do you believe that if granted bond on your oath, Mr. Williams would intimidate any witness?
Nah.
Obstruct the administration of justice?
No.
Be a danger to the community or property in the community?
Not at all.
And a risk to commit a crime while out on bond?
No, not at all. He has too much respect for me and too much respect for the company that we're building and too many people that depend on him. It's not about Jeffrey. It's why it's about the family. It's about the community. You know, he understands. He's inspiring the world right now. There's a kid that he changes their life every day. I really believe that.
For the better?
For the better.
I have one last question for you. If this honorable court granted bond, but it was very, very restricted. Mr. Williams is not coming out to studios. He's not doing videos. Speaking with him may be curtailed. Is your record label still willing to keep him as a vibrant member of SAM?
That's my partner.
And just for the court's edification, I think you just said, but Mr. Williams not only an artist, he's an owner of the company, right?
He's a businessman. I told him hip hop has given him a way to be an entrepreneur, a way to empower people, a way to educate people, and he has a responsibility. He knows that with this success comes responsibility, and we made a commitment to each other that we're going to do this for the rest of our life.
I want to thank you so much.
Thank you, Ron.
Hold on 1 second. State, any questions? Okay, all right. Then I'll.
I didn't want to cross-examine him.
Thank you, Judge.
Final rebuttals, raising bond.
To face these charges, whether or not there's evidence that goes towards guilt or innocence. Guilty of these charges is not what is before the court. So
You're absolutely right.
Yes, sir.
You don't have to waste your breath on that.
Right.
I'm very familiar with Mr. Williams and the other co-accused, presumption of innocence, and the court deems them as being innocent of these charges. I'm asked to pass on bond, and the bond is predicated on, on the issues that the appellate case law tells me I need to kind of consider.
So let me then address some specific things that Mr. Gary said, that the state said in their argument.
All right.
He being controlled.
The state started their argument by saying that this is all about money, and to be quite honest, that's a little bit of that's a little insulting, because the inference is that if Mr. Williams has means or has resources, that that is a bad thing. That he is trying, in their words, to quote, "I can buy a bond," is what the state said. They said he wants to, quote, "pay his way out of jail," is what they said.
Well, I think that they're saying, it's a factor. Is resources of the accused in this particular circumstance, but it has to be taken into context with other things. So I'm not saying that. I understand there's that assertion in that regard, but it's more so the court's going to consider it from an issue of its context of other things.
Yes, sir. And one of the things
and wealth being able to, you can make one. I mean, I understand that.
And that's precisely the point. The fact that Mr. Williams may have means or may have resources by which that can be brought to bear. Those resources are being brought to bear for purposes of assuring the court of his reappearance. Because the other way, of course, to look at it, as you've heard from some of the witnesses, is that there's a lot at stake. That if he does not reappear in court, that there are financial resources, there are people's well-being that are put at financial stake because of that. And that is certainly something the court can consider in regards to whether or not he would reappear. Now, what I also think is an inappropriate argument is that the witnesses who took their time to come in here and testify about their knowledge of Mr. Williams, about his background, about what he's done, about his ties to the community, about his investments in the community and so forth, and his employment, his financial status, his jobs. They took their time and came in and testified. I would submit to the court honestly about their knowledge to you about Mr. Williams. I do not believe that there's anything to suggest that anyone who came in here and testified came in because of a financial motive. That they have something to gain or something to lose financially by coming in here and speaking honestly to the court about their knowledge of Mr. Williams, which is what the court needs to make its decision.
I'm taking it from the standpoint of he has significant ties to the community.
And that is, thank you, Judge, and that is exactly what I would suggest that information was. That is what was presented to you, that he has strong ties to the community that weighs in his benefit if he, as the court considers, bond. Now,
yeah, if you go Google him, you'll see he behind a lot of
one of
rappers
the
that you
things
know.
that the state referenced,
Jay-Z,
that the state
and all
actually
that
considered
shit.
was
Him and Dame Dash. you
whether or
get
not
into it. I think him and
he is a
or that
flight
was
risk.
cool one. Or both.
And I want to roll this into a discussion of the bond hearing that was held before Magistrate Judge Wolf.
Anybody that was in
some
the
weeks
death
ago.
jam for real.
Yeah, I'm gonna mark that as
At one
court
point.
2 for the purpose of the motion. That was done on the 11th of May and filed in our e-file system, or Odyssey, I should say. So, we'll make that part of it.
Yes, sir. That was on a Wednesday. I was present for that bond hearing. I was there, and I can tell the
Yeah,
court
that judge mind
that
been made up.
that would have been 2 days
Ain't no
after
convincing him. And it's
Mr.
sad
Williams
because
was
it feel like he don't
arrested.
even have a choice. Like
He
his
came for
hands
his first
forced.
appearance. I'll
It's
tell
like
you
they
that
forcing his
court,
hand or something.
Magistrate Judge Wolf heard argument from both sides as to suitability of bond. And I will tell you as an officer of the court
Yeah, I hit
that
that like.
Magistrate Judge Wolf was concerned about the fact that the indicted case was already assigned to you. That there was someone that Mr. Williams was already assigned to on a separate case, a separate but related case. And there were discussions about whether or not, because he had resources, he was a flight risk. Because he had money, he had the ability and the wherewithal to leave. And Judge Wolf, I will tell you, in denying the bond, which he did, essentially indicated that he asked very many questions about whether or not there was a bond hearing scheduled in front of Your Honor, and whether or not you'd be considering the issue of bond on the indicted case, and that he would defer, that he was going to deny bond at the time, but he was going to defer to Your Honor because the other case was in front of you and because that case was related. And so it is my impression from the hearing on that day and the denial of bond that the court anticipated that you would be making the larger decision as regards whether or not Mr. Williams receives bond on both matters or not. And of course, both matters are in front of you now. Now, there is, in regards to flight risk, whether or not he's a flight risk, and some of what the state has said, there is no indication that he's a flight risk. Mr. Gary referenced a failure to appear, and yet conceded that he doesn't know anything about that failure to
It's
appear.
for a traffic offense. It's of diminished value to the court, but I'm more interested in the access to the private jet.
Yeah,
At PDK in DeKalb.
And so that's the thing, because our suggestion to the court is that he be placed on house arrest, that he have an ankle monitor, that there are post-certified law enforcement officers who are responsible for making sure he complies with the court's conditions. There is no suggestion on our part that he be allowed to fly by way of private jet, commercial jet, helicopter, or anything of that nature. And so the argument that because he has resources, he has in the past has had access to a private jet, that is something the court should be concerned about. We would suggest to you that is not something for you to consider, because we're not asking that he be allowed to have that access. You heard from Mr. Middlesex, who indicated that what would happen essentially is if the court were to graciously grant bond for Mr. Williams, he would be released from where he is now. He will be transported by law enforcement officers to the location that the court has indicated, and he will stay there. And if he is to leave to come to court, for the only reason, that he would do so under supervision and under guard of law enforcement officers. And when Mr. Middlestat testified, I think he was clear, and he was deferential to the court in regards to what the requirements would be. These are going to be post-certified law enforcement officers who are sworn to uphold the law. We are not suggesting, we did not suggest that private security, just any individual off of the street serve as the people who would guard the house where Mr. Williams would be confined. As a matter of fact, the list of those individuals was provided to the court. They can be vetted. We have indicated and we have suggested to the court that the DA's office can vet them if they want to. They can go to the home. And quite frankly, circling back around to this private jet issue, let me tell you, Mr. Williams doesn't own a jet, has never owned a private plane or a private jet, and he would not even have access to that because we're suggesting that the court not allow that. It is of some particular note that at the time that Mr. Williams was arrested, when the police came to the house, there were SWAT team officials in plain clothes, officers who came to the house. You see the video.
When you just
there
know,
were individuals
no
approaching the house from different locations with guns.
Know what he's gonna
and
do.
the state made reference to the fact that one of the individuals tried to run. It wasn't Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams never tried to leave. He never tried to run. He didn't abscond. He didn't try to fight the officers. He went with them. And so there's no indication that he was a danger to flee. In fact, he had just gotten back into town the day before, and you have heard that the only other time when there was a warrant that was issued for Mr. Williams' arrest, he left a tour, left Las Vegas, left those resources, came right back to the cab, turned himself into custody. And so everything that you've heard, all of the evidence, the facts that you heard, would speak against him being a flight risk. He is not, and they've not presented any evidence that he's a flight risk. An argument in and of itself that he is not sufficient for the court. Is there any danger that he would threaten or intimidate witnesses? We've discussed that a bit. There was some discussion in another bond hearing previously, and I'm wary about trying to make comparisons or make reference to bond hearings regarding any other individuals, because Mr. Williams deserves to have his bond considered simply based upon the factors involving him, characteristics involving him, his suitability for bond, not anybody else. But this talk that we heard previously about people with phones in jails, or people making phone calls, or their witnesses who are terrified right now, other than the state purporting to have other quote-unquote, what they say are gang members, or someone's mother who's saying that there are threats being made, that there has been no evidence other than that assertion, that allegation presented to the court. He has been locked up since the 9th. They have access to his phone calls. They're recorded. They have access to, I mean, he's locked up 22 hours out of the day, sometimes 23. But you've not heard any indication here that, well, he made a recorded phone call and there was something that he said in that phone call that we perceive as a threat. Or he's contacted someone and he has asked them to do something that we believe is commensurate with intimidating a witness or trying to influence a witness. You've not heard any evidence of that. And so there's simply no evidence to substantiate the allegation that he would be a threat to intimidate witnesses. Now, moving specifically to the indictment. And I heard you say it before, and I accept when the court says, Mr. Adams, I know that guilt or innocence is not the province of a bond hearing. And thank you for that. But they spent a good bit of time going through the indictment. But what they actually did is they simply read their allegations. These are their allegations, right? These are what they say Mr. Williams did, or what they believe Mr. Williams, offenses they believe he's committed. They have to prove that. And there is nothing to suggest that simply because they have sat down and drafted up an 88-page indictment that the allegations in this indictment are accurate or are true. I've been doing this for a long time. And there have been times, many times, when the allegations put forth by the state have simply not been borne out in trial. So the state can stand up here and sound as certain as they want to that, hey, we think the evidence is going to, or we know that the evidence is going to show X, Y, Z. And then months later, after the court has considered that in regards to whether he gets a bond. When we're actually standing up in a courtroom, they don't prove it, or it turns out not to be true, or a witness that they say is going to say something, says something different, or is impeached, or someone is proven to not be telling the truth. And so to stand here and say, well, there's a song lyric that we believe is relevant in the case and they're talking about a particular incident is trying to convince the court that their allegations are true, trying to convince the court that their allegations are factual, and there's nothing to say that that is the case at this point. In Mr. McGarry, the prosecutor, asked the court to look at several acts in the indictment. Started with Act 9, and the prosecutor, I noticed, read or paraphrased some words in Act 9. All I ever wanted was the money, and then moved on to put him in a wheelchair, taking it totally out of context. This is a song, and the dangerous thing about where we are with them believing that they can pick and choose song lyrics or portions of song lyrics is that they don't know what they're talking about, but they're putting it in here as though it's fact. They could not tell you, I guarantee, who wrote the song, who is actually singing a particular lyric in this song, or what the song is referencing. And that's what's dangerous. And I know at some point we're going to be arguing about whether these song lyrics go to anything specific in the indictment. But Judge, I would just ask you to take a look at what's been proffered, or what's been presented to you. Act 9. Read just like Elmo, but I never effing giggle. Well, what does that mean? And what does the next line mean? What is that? Is that referencing something specific, a specific count of the indictment? They can't tell you that. And it's taken out of context. You know, last week when we had a bond hearing, Bob Rubin represented one of the other individuals, said something that I thought, as a 56-year-old person who grew up in Brooklyn with rap music and all of that, thought was particularly insightful. He said, Judge, you know, it seems kind of bizarre, you know, some 50-something-year-old white guy is trying to tell you what, you know, someone who's a rapper means in a particular song. And I don't mean to suggest that some people have greater sensibilities about rap music than others, right? But what I am suggesting is that it is somewhat disingenuous to simply quote portions of song lyrics when you don't really know what they are, and to take them out of context, and to not know who wrote the song or who's actually singing the song. Because I can tell you, I've poured through this indictment, and I know for a fact that there are some of these lyrics that are quoted or attributed to Jeffrey Williams that were not written by him, and that were not sung by him. But when do we find that out? In the middle of trial? After they've stood up here and try to convince you that you ought to use these lyrics as incendiary as they sound to deny him bond, and then 8, 9, 10 months later, oh, that wasn't Jeffrey Williams. And that's why it's so dangerous to have the state. I'm not going to go through each and every one of them. I was going to, but I'm not going to because I'm mindful of the time. But I think the court gets my point that to quote song lyrics and Instagram posts or group chats or group texts that we, by the way, contest in several of them is not Jeffrey Williams, and that he did not say that and did not say those things. And there's no greater force to them standing up here and saying that he said those things than us saying he didn't. It's on equal footing, and it shouldn't be considered because it's just something that has to be proven later on. I thought this was funny. Act 74, I think it is, that the state reference.
You definitely speaking on deaf ears. Shit falling on deaf ears.
Act 74. Now that one I thought was particularly interesting and is, I think, symptomatic of what is flawed about the state's argument as to why you should consider everything they've read to you or presented to you in the indictment. Act 74 references Jeffrey Williams releasing a video. They said it was released on 4/12/18. I'm going to suggest that at some point in the future they'll go back and they'll correct that, and they'll recognize that this was a song, Anybody, that was written by Jeffrey Williams, Nicki Minaj, and a third writer, and that some of the lyrics that are in here are actually lyrics that were sung by Nicki Minaj. But they don't know that. They don't know that, but they stand up here and say this with the force of authority, thinking that that's going to be so. And they make that central part of their argument. What do they say? They said, the song lyrics say, I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that body. And that, Judge, is exactly where we're telling you that Jeffrey Williams, no, he may not have ever killed anybody that we know of, but he's the man in control, he's King Slime, he's the one who's running everything, and he's confessing it by saying that in this song. I told them to shoot 100 rounds. They left out the other line that comes after that. Like they're trying a movie about it. Like they shoot a movie. I mean, it's laughable, but it's an issue for later on down the road. Judge, in regards to the court's consideration,
I ain't never killed nobody, but I had something to do with that body. If that is Nicki Minaj lyric, they need to give that man a bond.
You have everything in front of you, Judge. That the court needs to make a determination about whether Mr. Williams is suitable for bond. I would contend respectfully that he is. There are no greater set of assurances that any defendant can put in front of you that can give you some assurance that he will reappear for trial than we have done. We have given the court every possible option I would suggest to you, and we have offered up the ability to have the court have its say in everything in terms of which of his residences, what house he lives in. Right? The court and the DA can have access to video feed from the house, so they can see what's going on in the house while he's there. That these law enforcement officers who will be properly vetted, who have been properly vetted, who will be there and will be responsive not to Mr. Williams, not because it's being paid for by Mr. Williams, but because they're responsive to the court, and will have reports that are submitted to the court or to the DA's office. So we've put that in front of you, Judge. We're asking you to take that assurance and give it significant consideration. Not because he's able to pay for it, but because it's going to accomplish what you need for it to accomplish to show you that he'll show back up.
It's just entertainment at that point.
We have suggested, and we have put before you the option of he needs to work, but having a studio built at his residence where, and inspected by law enforcement to ensure that there's nothing untoward going on there. So he can do what he does. That's his job. We have suggested to the court that, not suggested, we're happy to surrender his passport, even though an issue, he's not leaving the house.
It also can mean shit I had everybody paid for. I got a body.
We have suggested
I ain't never killed nobody, but I had
his
something to do with that body. Like, it's a lot of shit
can be
they
monitored.
can take out of context if they want.
And so any device that's used to make any phone calls can be monitored. And so whoever he talks to, whatever he says to them, will be known. Anyone who comes to the house has to be clear and will be known. By the court would have to approve a list of individuals who can come to the house. There is, in short, nothing more that we or any defendant can give to the court to satisfy what the court would have in front of it to ensure that he returns to court. Mr. Williams has not been convicted of anything before, and he stands before this court with some very serious allegations, but we're ready. We're going to be ready. We'll be ready to address them at the appropriate time. But we ask that you consider, respectfully, granting him a bond that allows him to be free from that custody, yet still confined under the court's order, to allow us an opportunity to properly prepare for this trial, We think it's appropriate, Judge. A bond is appropriate. Whatever you believe is an appropriate amount of bond with all of the conditions that we put in place, or we suggested to the court, or whatever else the court wants to add. But we believe that we have done everything that any defendant could possibly do to show the court that bond is appropriate. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Adams, thank you.
You can wait for him to get done talking. So you say no. We want to go ahead and deny this bond.
Evolve your.
Oh man, overbold.
Adams.
Thank you, Judge.
Let me see, what a bond get denied at? Oh, here go the argument against the bond.
Did you know that you can make?
Let's see what they hating on. Button, put them in the ground, way down, Buster.
Steele's presentation at this point in time, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Judge.
Judge, I'm going to rely on the statement of age to say that I'm about to have a Paul Harvey moment. We're sitting here and you got the song and dance, but now you're about to get the rest of the story. And the rest of the story will tell the court why a bond should not have been granted or should not be granted in this case. Of course, the court is aware of the indictment. The court is aware of some of the evidence that's been presented in the other cases and or proffers. We intend to, again, proffer in this case as well. Hearsay is admissible, and we intend to go in that direction. And Judge, I'm going to say something here in a minute, and it's not my intent, please, to offend the court. I'm going to go somewhere with this, so please bear with me in a second. This is all about money. This is an attempt to say, Judge, I can buy a bond. Respect to the court. Judge, everything you heard was someone that has a financial interest or some other professional interest relying on Mr. Williams. Yes, they need him out. Yes, they need him to be there. Yes, it's very important to them because it's all about the money. Mr. Williams has said in his songs, it's all about the money. And there's no difference. That's exactly what it was today. It was, I've got money. I can pay for whatever you want me to. But here's the problem, and I'll get to the specifics in a second. Every other defendant that's had a bond motion, we've shown they're a danger. And there's no issue about, well, what can, okay, can you pay for this or pay for that? They don't meet the Ayala factor. Okay? They want you to just get by, excuse me, Judge, by the Ayala factor and say, here's what's more important. We can pay for all this. But their logic falls on themselves. The investigator that came up very nicely stated, jails are corrupt, they can get stuff in there, and he shouldn't be in there for that reason. What officers are they going to hire? How do we know, because there's no supervision if he hires those same officers he's speaking about in the jail or on the road to be those 24 officers. Now we have even less supervision and less ability to ensure the safety of the community. So again, it's about the money and what can I do to pay my way out of jail. Judge, I understand all of the witnesses that just testified and the proffers that were made. But bad people sometimes do good things. Even the Gambinos, one of the big crime families, the crime boss, they had charities. They ran legitimate businesses. They did that as well because they want what Mr. Williams wants. He wants the appearance in the community. That's what he put up.
Bogus.
He put up the appearance in the community, and he put up people that are financially dependent upon him. And quite frankly, I objected for relevancy, and that's not relevant to the facts of bond. The fact that he can pay $1 million a year is not relevant. Your Honor, Mr. Steele stated to the court that guilt is not a factor and innocence not a factor. I wholeheartedly agree. But the nature of the offenses charged are a factor. Guilt or innocence is at a time later. And that's the reason is why if someone's charged with a misdemeanor, they automatically get a bond. Felony, they've got to come before a judge and ask for a bond and be judged on the Ayala factors of 1761. And that's why that's that way. And for the court's knowledge also is, and it was talked about, and I don't know the court's intent, so I'm going to address it one way and the court can inform me otherwise, is we have two things here. We have the indictment charged that I understand they're seeking a bond on, and then we have a separate case. That separate case is 22 CP 208957. That is the arrest of Mr. Williams on May 9th, 2022. And that is the one where in his house, there are drugs all over the house. There are weapons all over the house. One of the weapons has been modified to be a fully automatic weapon. Mr. Williams is talking about how important his children are. To my belief, Judge, one of his children was there present in the house. And these guns aren't locked up. They're out. I do not believe a cruelty to children charge was filed, but I believe the evidence certainly would have supported it, Judge. Judge, there was a sawed-off shotgun or a sawed-off illegal dangerous weapon. There was an automatic weapon. The court was already informed by Mr. Steele about how much marijuana was there. When the police arrived, one of the individuals tried to flee the house. It was obvious what was in the house and what was about to happen, so one of them decided to run. And I'll be fair, that was not Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams did not attempt to run. Judge, I want to say, and I told Mr. Steele I would do it this way. Since the last time I was in front of the court, we have evidence and information of even more threats to our witnesses. But I want to be clear, I have no evidence directly that Mr. Williams made a threat or directed anybody to make a threat. But our witnesses in this case are being threatened with violence, serious violence, and death. Again, I have no direct evidence that Mr. Williams has done this or was involved in that.
Hi friends, this is Julia of Gosser Family Farm in Sterling, Ohio.
What I can tell the court is Mr. Williams is the head of YSL, and the S doesn't stand for stoner, it stands for slime. It's young slime life.
How you gonna tell him
Judge,
the S don't
this
stand for
gang,
stoner?
and I call it that because that's what it is by definition in Georgia law, this criminal street gang pre-existed the label record. So, as a spin-off, he used YSL again and substituted one of the words. I believe he does have a
I know what they're trying to do. I know how they paint it, but I'm saying they're wrong.
Crime families get into legitimate businesses, and I believe Mr. Williams has done no different.
At this point, they know.
Judge,
well, we all know Thugger just want to get out so he don't have to be in jail while he goes through this shit.
He has always appeared. No, he hasn't. When he was arrested, he had an FTA. Now, I will say, and be honest to the court, I believe it was for a traffic offense. But then the logic is, if he's willing to blow off a traffic offense with no recourse, I think he'd surely think about blowing this one off if he's looking like things aren't going well. So he did have an FTA, and it was current on his arrest, which was 9 May of this year.
When was the FTA from?
When was it from?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I can't answer that question. I apologize.
Okay.
Now, Mr. Steele put up that there's no evidence he's done drugs. You know, he's had these drug testing. Everyone knows we listen to jail calls. We've got a call from Mr. Williams at Cobb County that he needs help for his drugs and he needs to detox. He needs drug help. That's on a jail call. So that's directly from Mr. Williams. So that's not accurate. I know Mr. Steele says he's got his visa. Mr. Williams now...
Passport?
I'm pardon, Judge?
Yeah, passport, you said visa.
Well, passport, I'm sorry, yes, sir.
Okay, all right, okay.
Yes,
I just want to make sure.
Yes, sir, Judge. I'm just used to one of those red things that I know the court knows, and that's what I've always traveled on. Judge, he's got access to a private jet. Now, I don't know if he owns it or if he leases it. I know he continuously flies on a private jet out of PDK into DeKalb County. Again, I'm not speaking for or against the officers that are on this list. I don't know any of them. That list has not been provided to us. We've already been contacted by 2 police agencies who want to know, because if their officers are on that, they will not permit that to happen. So there might be some pushback on that list. I take the investigator's word that he's cleared all that. I don't know. I don't know who's on the list, Judge. Judge, I will also say that we have taken proffers from fellow gang members from Mr. Williams. Some are on this indictment, some are not. They have stated uniformly that Mr. Williams is dangerous. They are afraid of him, that if they cross him, he will kill them and their family. And they were very clear about that.
Snitches.
Your Honor, when I said the other case, I want to also go back to that 22 CP case. A bond hearing was held on that. I have a copy of the results from the court. I believe Magistrate Judge Robert Wolf on the 11th day of May, 2022, denied bond on the charges based on the arrest, and as it stands now, it is no bond. Now, what I understand from the order, and I'm going to provide this copy to the court in a second, it was denied for a flight risk and risk to commit additional felonies. May I approach, Your Honor?
You may, sir.
Yes, sir. May I approach, Judge?
You may, sir. Thank you.
So respectfully, Judge, if you're not considering that today with the indictment, as I understand the motion, then he's already on a no bond for 2 of the Ayala factors. Your Honor, count 1 alleges racketeering, and it basically alleges that the enterprise, if you will, for the racketeering is a criminal street gang as defined by Georgia law. That criminal street gang is a gang called YSL. That's Young Slime Life. Young Slime Life has a reputation, if you will, both inside and outside the court system. Your Honor, I'm going to go through some of the things in the indictment just to let the court know. Mr. Williams, in Act 4, which is from 9913, had a stolen firearm on him. Now, I will say I believe his counsel was in fact Mr. Steele, and that act was to a pretrial. So it is not a conviction, but it is still a predicate act under Georgia law. He did possess a stolen weapon. I will say there's a Act 9 on 4/2014. It is a song. The name is EWW, and in it, basically, the defendant says, "All I ever wanted was the money." Basically, if you mess with me, you go into a wheelchair. That's what that one says. Your Honor, we have other, and I'll leave some of the social media, I'll handle that generically for the most part, but we have numerous social media posts where the defendant is in what I would call gang colors, flashing gang signs with his fellow gang members, some of which are his co-defendants on this indictment. And on those, they are, on the videos, they are complete with gang statements, gang hand signs,
movie people,
threats, etc. Judge, and again, they're listed in the indictment. Judge.
T-ball on Friday, swim lessons on Saturday.
And car shopping? How about car shopping? The murder of Donovan Thomas that we've spoken a few times, that's basically Act 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. In that series of acts, in Act 16, the state can prove that, or I will say this, it's the state's contention that the car used in that murder was a car rented personally by Mr. Williams just days before. And evidence will come in concerning the beef between Mr. Williams and Mr. Donovan Thomas that involves another well-known rapper and how that gentleman's career was going to go. And Mr. Thomas and Mr. Williams had a serious disagreement about that, which led to Mr. Thomas's untimely death. Your Honor, on Act 25 from January 25th, 15, we have a conversation. A conversation is an electronic digital form where the defendant states sacrifices must be made, soldiers must fall in order for battle to be won. And then it goes on to talk about everyone has to line up between all the sex, money, murder, which is a subset of blood, which basically YSL comes under, that they must all line up under one of 5 leaders, and they must do so immediately. And that is again from Mr. Williams. Your Honor, on 126.
Is that in a, that's in a digital?
It's in a digital format, yes, Judge.
Is it a conversation? Tell me the context.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. It's a conversation?
It is, I believe it's in the form of a group chat where Mr. Williams is putting this out to many, but to his crew.
And when did this occur?
It could be like
this occurred on 125-15, Judge.
Okay.
Okay. Now the next day, 126-15. Remember, now let me take you back again already. On 110-15 was the murder of Donovan Thomas here in Atlanta, Fulton County. Okay. So approximately 16 days later, Mr. Williams releases a video. And he's basically stating, or doesn't basically say, I should be quoting, is that he basically says, if anybody goes into a courtroom and tells the God's honest truth, and pardon my language, they need to get fucking killed. And again, that's only 16 days after the murder of Donovan Thomas. And that was a threat that still is being talked about by some of his own gang members and some of our witnesses as to what will happen to them if they continue to cooperate.
That hurt right there.
Your Honor, on 7/7/15.
Yeah, that hurt them. They fucked themselves up.
In DeKalb County.
I knew they had
Mr. Williams
that shit was like
made
this.
a threat when he threatened a head of security from Perimeter Mall. And I will tell you that DeKalb County dismissed the case. They thought the threat to be conditional. I don't have that requirement as a predicate in a RICO count. So the terroristic threat resolved or formed from Mr. Williams and his associates entering the mall on those 2-wheel hoverboards and the mall told them they weren't allowed to have them. They informed mall security that to F off, they could do whatever they wanted to do. You can't tell them what to do. Mall security followed them out to the vehicle to inform them that they now have a trespass warning and they have to leave. As the officer, who is now a certified police officer, told Mr. Williams that they can't come back in, Mr. Williams, identified by this now officer, told the officer, if you don't back off, I'm going to shoot you in the face. At that time, the officer, or the security guard then, did back off. They have pictures on the scene of Mr. Williams and of the car. Your Honor, on...
He say, she say. Phone conversations heard her. Text messages, the group chat. I knew, and I said that. Go back to my old videos. I said, I bet they got them on group chats.
Hang tight. Miss Amana?
I knew they was gonna have them on group chat, bro.
It may be a situation, if everybody concerned. We booked the Zoom for the day, and the day ends at 5, so that's probably why it probably cut off. So let me just see if we can fix that. We may have to send out another link. So just bear with us a second.
Yes, Judge.
I choose
terroristic threats against the security guards at the mall.
Yeah, you're talking about last.
Yes, Judge. The next one is going to be Act 60 of the indictment, which is on 3/25/16. It is a music video entitled Slime Shit, and it talks about YSL shit, killing 12 shit, 12 being a euphemism for police officers, fuck a jail shit, I'm a VIP and got a pistol on my hip. Again, and you know, I took what Mr. Lyle said, and I don't disagree with him. If we have someone singing these kind of lyrics and isn't living this lifestyle before they sing about it, I don't think that's a crime. That's not the case here. We're basically singing lyrics about what they're doing. The fact that Mr. Lyles isn't aware of what his business partner is doing is the other issue. In that song it goes, again, fuck the police, fuck the judge, mob life. On 9/24/17, Act 68, I believe 69, 70, 71, and 72, Your Honor. This is a act out of Brookhaven Police Department that Mr. Steele spoke of, where Mr. Kitchens and Mr. Williams were stopped in a car based on a traffic violation, and a stolen weapon was found in the vehicle, and methamphetamine with intent to distribute, hydrocodone with intent to distribute, marijuana with intent to distribute, and a criminal street gang charge arose from that. And the interesting thing on that is when the officer asked Mr. Williams' name, the response from Mr. Williams was, I'm a superstar, can't take me to jail. The officer did. I think Mr. Williams discovered there that that didn't work. Your Honor, in Act 73, on 12/30/17, Mr. Williams appeared in a video. It was called Original Slime Shit, with lyrics, murder gang shit, YSL till you're dead and pale. Act 74 is a music video on 4/12/18 where Mr. Williams states or sings, I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that body. That would be our position, is that as the leader of this criminal street gang, Mr. Williams probably has never killed anybody. I don't know that to be true or not, but he probably has others do it for
Yeah, I hope he
him
beat it.
as we understand the evidence, Judge.
When was that Act 74 music video?
Which one, Judge? I'm sorry.
Act 74, you said.
Act 74
The one you
was
just told us.
4/12/18, Judge.
Okay.
And again, the way, as we address it in our evidence, Judge, we essentially address that as a confession by a party opponent. In Act 75, Judge, which is another traffic event in DeKalb County, it's on 5/18/18. In prior songs, the defendant sings that he travels with snipers, he travels with a dangerous gang, you can't mess with his people. In this, it was a traffic stop, two vehicles speeding down the road. Officer tried to stop them for speeding. Mr. Williams was driving the lead car in a Porsche. I do not believe any weapons or any drugs were found in that car. Mr. Williams indicated to the officer that the people behind him worked for him. The people behind him stated that they worked for Mr. Williams. In that car were 4 individuals, some prior felons, and they were armed to the teeth to include a fully loaded 30-round mag with an AK-47. I do not believe Mr. Williams got any charge other than a traffic ticket at that time. Again, no weapons were found on him and no drugs were found on him. Your Honor, on Act 78 from 1/15/19, it's a video called Bad Boy. Now, understand, at a point, Mr. Williams got into a beef, if you will, with another rapper by the name of Rayshawn Bennett, also known as
his
YFN
music
Lucci.
alone, they can really just take
At some
that shit.
point,
If
Lucci's
it works,
mother
they can
was
take
shot
that
at,
and really hang everybody.
and the song comes out with
Everybody
Bad
in the
Boy
rap game.
that says, let's see, you better watch the way you breathe
That's how I
around
know
me,
Dirk and
for that
Warren
breath be your
Jacksonville,
last
Julio,
boy.
them,
Smith
they
and
gonna
Wesson
be next.
45 put a hole in his heart, better not play with me. Killers, stay with me. I shot at his mommy, now he no longer mentioned me. We believe that Mr. Williams doesn't sing about random theoretical acts. He sings about gang acts that he's a part of or his gang participates in. Following that, Your Honor, in the same year, Act 96 on 8/8/19, Mr. Williams posted on Instagram a post, if you will. It said, "If'n," or YFN, "if ain't like what you do for your mother and your kids, I would have killed you," and that was tagging YFN Lucci. Now, I'll go back and I'll get to that later, but this year, a YSL member attempted to kill Mr. Rayshawn Bennett, aka YFN Lucci, at
the lawyer putting it
Fulton County
together is
Jail.
looking bad.
That's on video as well, and we can tie that to the gang, and I'll get to that later.
That's on video. Told y'all it was a video, so why can't we change
Act 97 from 9/16/19.
Listen to me when I say why I can't.
Mr. Williams posted a video called "Just How It Is." There were lyrics in that one as well.
What number is that, sir?
97, I'm sorry. And it said, last N-word tried me, almost got popped at Lennox. Asked the cops, asked the detectives, they know all the business. Asked the cops and the detective all the jurisdictions. Gave the lawyer close to $2 million. He handles all the killings. Mob business. We know to kill the biggest cats of all the kittens. Also, it should be noted that it's alleged that Mr. Donovan Thomas was the head of the Inglewood family criminal street gang at the time. And irrespective of his position that he might have had in a gang or not in a gang, Mr. Thomas didn't deserve to get gunned down on the road in Atlanta. Position, our Act 102 judge from 3/12/20. Mr. Jeffrey Williams is in a conversation with Mr. Huey, also a defendant in this indictment. Now let me set this up, Judge. And you heard part of this last time, that there was the theft of a car by someone in the gang, Mr. Huey, and it belonged to I believe, the manager of Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams was upset to find out that it was, and he basically texted his folks to say, give it back. Okay? Now, in that, he responds to Mr. Huey, says, if he don't take it back, he gonna die. Followed that, Mr. Huey basically was begging for his life in the conversation. It's very clear that he believed that statement by Mr. Williams.
Man, well, they got some shit. Yeah, they got some shit.
Buzz Lightyear mission log. Our first test flight is a go.
Ready, Captain.
It ain't nothing Thug can do. I ain't gonna lie to you. He left sound like they got him by the balls.
In Act 127, Your Honor, from 2/4 of 21, Mr. Williams is in a conversation with other defendants listed on the indictment, where he stated, YSL rule the world, kid. 24 million on an N-word's head. Y'all just start bringing me the money. Man, y'all stop playing with me. That was in reference to gang activity and basically evidence that he is in charge and all the money goes to and flows through Mr. Williams. On Act 130 from 4/16/21, Judge, there's a social media post titled Slatty, S-L-A-T-T-Y, lyrics stating, I killed this man in front of his mama, I guess sister and his cousin. I shoot out, kill him, not leave a trace.
This shit
He said, you
sounds
think
so
you a
crazy.
gangster, you got a pistol, look at my trigger start itching. YSL, we going overboard. And again, YSL is a direct reference to Young Slime Life, the criminal street gang. On Act 131 on 4/16 of 21, there's a video released called Ski, S-K-I, with lyrics stating, I fuck with slats, slacks being basically slang life forever. We come to eat rats. I came with some piranhas. I tote an FN, a reference to a handgun. And in that one, which is interesting, Judge, which you'll hear in the evidence of this case, is this is a hybrid gang. This gang isn't pure bloods. There are rolling 60s in it, Crips. There are 30 deep. It is a combination of many different gangs to form this gang. In Act 132 from 5/13/21, Judge, a conversation where Williams asks the others in the conversation, y'all ain't beat him up or shot him yet? Y'all N-word getting soft. And I believe that's directing the activity of the gang to stand up for the reputation of the gang and not be disrespected. Your Honor, Act 139, I'll miss 139, Judge. In Acts 150, Mr. Huey, which I spoke of earlier, had gotten out of jail. He had communicated with Mr. Williams, basically stating, and this is Mr. Huey, you know I'm ready to handle the business and go sit down if I got to about any one of y'all on my mama. Sit down is a reference by the gang, is I'm willing to go to prison for you, I'm willing to do time for you. On
They got a
in
snitch
Act
breaking all that shit
155 from
down.
12/31/2021,
What date is that? I'm sorry, one more time.
I apologize, Judge.
What date and
12/31/21, Judge.
and that's predicate of?
It's an overt act, Judge. There was a photo released by Mr. Williams with him wearing a YSL pendant with basically with taking his finger under his nose like this, Judge, which is a gang sign from YSL. That's one of their signs. When we watch the videos, you'll see that a lot, Judge. Judge, in Act 156 from 1/16/22, defendant released a video, and why we think this is important, Judge, is because the gang signs mostly done by Mr. Williams are YSL gang signs, Young Slime Life. They may argue that it's Young Stoner Life, but in this video, Mr. Williams flashed a Bloods sign. Not a video, not a YSL sign, a Bloods gang sign. He's also got a photograph where he's got a red B right about here on his chest, Judge, which is a common Bloods tattoo. On 3/9/22 in Act 172, Williams posed for a photograph with the caption, "Slap Business YSL 4L for Life." Judge, we have proffers that from gang members, and some on the indictment, some not, that Mr. Williams is the leader of the gang. He directs the gang activity. This gang, as you can see through the indictment, there are numerous murders, there are numerous armed robberies, there are numerous attempted murders, shootings. Just like, again, I spoke about the Gaudis, about the criminal gang, mafia families out of New York. The bosses themselves never got their hands dirty. The position here is, Judge, is Mr. Williams directs and has directed all of these individuals, Judge. And he recruits people continuously, Judge. We have a proffer, Judge, even from the mother.
We know that managing shipping can be very hands-on.
Of one of the defendants in this indictment who told us that Mr. Williams does the community events in order to recruit more people, that her son was recruited by money, shoes, clothes, because they didn't have anything. And now her son's, by her statement, is in jail for the rest of his life. And that's that's the mother from one of the defendants on this case. Judge, Mr. Williams essentially is YSL. Everybody else is a follower. There are leaders. We said Mr. Kitchens, Mr. Greer, they are also leaders. But the leader, the top dog, the most dangerous man here is Jeffrey Williams, because he doesn't have to get his hands dirty. He has others to do his business. Judge, in an analogy, you found the others danger to the community, danger to commit additional felonies. And I would say, of the least of them, you found them dangerous. This is the most of them. This is the one that you see the shadow in the back of the room. He's the one directing traffic. He is the one that we're all afraid of. He's the one that's King Slime.
Wow.
He's pulling the shots.
No objection?
He is the most dangerous of the 28, Judge. And I implore you not to grant him a bond. He is dangerous. The setup they've given to you is actually going to be less controlled, not more. If he gets a burner, Judge, and the court may know this, a lot of the communications that Mr. Williams is on FaceTime, because it's not traceable, it's not trackable. And we know that to be their MO. He gets a burner, he gets in there, he runs his gang from inside, and he won't get that, and no one's going to throw his cell. I know what the investigator said, with all due respect. That's not the jail, that's their job. It's not the job of 24 officers being paid by Mr. Williams. That's not their job. The job is the sheriff of Fulton County or any other sheriff where our sheriff decides to put Mr. Williams. That's their job. He is dangerous. And I normally don't do this, but I don't hesitate in this case. Respectfully, Judge, I believe if you give him a bond, we're going to have more witnesses in danger or going to be missing. I believe he's that dangerous, Judge. Thank you.
Court's permission, if I may offer rebuttal, just a few.
Just a few. PI, is that a private investigator?
Of our law, and I'd like to call as our first witness Mr. Charles Middlestad.
No, it's for him.
What's Mr. Middlestad going to testify to?
Your Honor, he is a private investigator. He is good standing throughout our state. I know him personally. And he is going to talk about his efforts in securing home confinement with current law enforcement officers working second jobs, detail, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to ensure that Mr. Williams is confined to his home, no contraband, no weapons, no flight, no visitors come to his home whatsoever, and Mr. Middlestad has done all this work in the case.
Okay. You swear, Mr. Middlestad, please. You need to stand up, sir. Stand up. Stand up, please. Come here.
I do.
My name is Charles Middlestad, and the last name is spelled Mittelstat. And my occupation is I'm a criminal defense investigator.
And Mr. Middlestad, would you do me a courtesy and give this honorable court your background?
Yes.
Excuse me.
Your Honor, I've been involved in this profession. I started out in the security industry. My background is in corporate security and dignitary protection. And then for the last 25 years, I've been involved in criminal defense investigation. I've been both a board certified security professional, and I'm a board certified criminal defense investigator. I've done cases coast to coast now for the last 25 years. I've done hundreds of cases here in Fulton County. I have worked with the DA's office in assisting them on cases. I have helped represent members of the DA's office at the highest level, and worked with former DAs in private practice post career in their after they left the DA's office. So I've had extensive experience at this, and I've had the opportunity to be a part of similar sort of efforts that have been responsive to trying to address the concerns of the court as consideration with regard to bond. And Mr. Steele contacted me for that purpose to try to craft some solutions responsive to concerns that you might have, and to do some investigation into different circumstances that might be present with regard to some of the offerings that Mr. Steele is going to make today.
Investigator Middlestad, would you tell this honorable court, first of all, do you have any relationship with Mr. Jeffrey Williams, who's on the Zoom?
I do not. I have not met him at present.
Okay. Tell this honorable court what specifically I asked you to do, and explain what you did, and take the court through every scenario.
They just said Jeffrey and them up under the money, sex, murder, so they might look at them as more.
When you contacted me, you asked me
to
get with
they're gonna say he just
with Mr. Williams' representatives for purpose of having access to the various properties that are within his control. There are 4 such properties located within the metro Atlanta area. For purposes of evaluating the potential of these properties for home confinement purposes, and looking at them from the perspective of a security professional and in terms of what the staffing requirements might be for each property and the feasibility of creating a home confinement program.
Y'all hit that like button.
And what those staffing requirements might be for
Smash that like.
Law enforcement, currently certified, post-certified only law enforcement staffing with regard to a home confinement, essentially program that also would include ankle monitoring, 24-hour, 7-day-a-week, physical monitoring performed by off-duty law enforcement, and including making contact with law enforcement officers around the state that would be available to perform such a function, that would be authorized by their departments to perform such a function, that are ready to go as we speak today, that are ready to mobilize right now. And to date, I have secured 24 such officers that are authorized and ready to mobilize for this sort of assignment. The purpose of doing so and using law enforcement only is because they are active, they are sworn to uphold the laws of this state. They would be responsible for reporting any sort of violations that might be committed by Mr. Williams should he not comply with the terms of his bond. And so by utilizing active law enforcement only in lieu of utilizing private security or private investigators or anything lesser than a post-certified officer, we seek to provide comfort both to this court and to the state, responsive to the concerns that I've heard. Frankly, I sat through the first hearing a week ago, and I was relieved to hear that what we crafted is entirely responsive to the concerns that I've heard from this court, which really revolve around the issue of witness tampering and any other concerns that could arise from communications that might occur.
And Investigator Millstat, is it fair to say that we did all this work well prior to the Monday, May 23rd, 2022 initial hearing that you're referring to?
Yes, as a matter of fact, if you'll note, Your Honor, the letter that I addressed to you was dated May 20th, and so this was everything that's contemplated within this proposal here was crafted well before, I'm sorry, and it contemplated these sorts of concerns, and candidly, it's the most extensive, far-reaching effort that I've ever been a part of in terms of trying to directly address the concerns that could be anticipated in such a wide-ranging indictment with 28 defendants and 56 counts and the nature of these sorts of allegations. And so, in addition to the home confinement piece, ankle monitoring, a GPS ankle monitor for Mr. Williams, literally 24-hour, 7-day-a-week law enforcement. There are 4 different settings which have been contemplated, some which, based on my estimation, would require 2 officers, some which could require 1 officer only, and very candidly, we're completely, I have the staffing and we have the ability to supplement the staffing to any force level that we need to. So if Your Honor decided that we need 3 officers per shift, that's feasible. If the state, and the way that I have contemplated this is whatever the state, whatever concerns they may express, we have the ability to respond to that. Part of that contemplation also deals with the fact, incorporates what I'm terming a hammer, which is a 60-day reserve. So the best way I can explain that is there's 60 days worth of advance funding, and this is an incredibly expensive proposal. Just doing the math based on 2 officers, Your Honor, the cost to Mr. Williams is in excess of $1 million a year, just for the staffing alone, and there's additional fees on top of that. That math is based on 2 officers per shift times 3 shifts at a negotiated rate of $60 an hour. That is what law enforcement is requiring to undertake this sort of off-duty assignment. And this is money that he'll never get back. This isn't like a bond. This is money he'll never get back. It's a tremendous amount of skin in the game. But in addition to that, there is a 60-day workforce reserve incorporated. So if he were to violate for any reason, that 60-day reserve would be dispersed amongst the officers that are working that assignment. And so it almost gives them an incentive to violate him in a sense. Beyond that, this plan also ensures that whatever restrictions the court puts in place with regard to limiting and restricting and controlling visitor access or any sorts of devices or any materials that you would not want within that environment, that law enforcement, not me, not the defense team in any way, but the law enforcement officers that are assigned to this responsibility are empowered to actually control everything that comes in and out of that environment.
So if somebody comes to my house and it has a burner phone, or are they going to be searched or whatever before they come in? Or?
Yes, sir, absolutely, Your Honor. What's contemplated is the moment that you approve this bond, that prior to Mr. Williams occupying it, is that a complete search will be conducted of that, whichever property you deem, whichever property you assign. It will undergo a complete search that can include canine, drug dogs. We'll do whatever it takes to satisfy Your Honor. And we will search that and we will bless that environment, and from that second forth, law enforcement will be put in place and nothing will come in and out of there. And I think that's very, very significant, because what we've heard, and I have heard, throughout these proceedings, is almost sort of an admission by the state that it's frankly inability to do so in a detention center. I mean, we've heard the state talk about the fact that, in fact, it's even in the indictment, there are charges relating to the possession of communications devices by incarcerated persons. We've heard about drones being flown in or attempts to drop phones in. And we all know that the fact of the matter is, in spite of all the best intentions of the good men and women of Fulton County Sheriff's Department or the Cobb County Sheriff's Office, or frankly any detention center around this country, is that contraband gets in, whether it's in the form of phones or it's drugs or any other sort of contraband. It's just a fact of the matter is detention centers are just wholly unsuccessful in keeping that out. It mostly does not come through visitors. It mostly comes by the jailers themselves. And we've also heard testimony and proffers by the state about the fact that there are other ways to beat communications if we're talking about threats being called in or any sorts of orders being called in, through code sharing and other means of making that happen. If the real concern is, in this case, accepting the state's concerns at their face value, is to basically freeze Mr. Williams out, eliminate his ability to communicate, eliminate his ability to present a threat to anybody, This is the only plan that's going to be responsive to that. The state has demonstrated, or not the state, the law enforcement, unfortunately, based on its, again, in spite of its best intentions, has demonstrated an inability to do any of that.
Wait, 1 second. Mr. Steele, do you have that letter that you included in your materials from last time?
Of course.
Can I have a copy of it, please?
Of course.
I mean, I know it's in the binder we submitted last time, but you have a copy of that.
I do. And Your Honor, I'd like to give a redacted parts because I didn't think the court would want the law enforcement officers' names, but we have that as well in additional names. So if you want that, they're unredacted. Thank you.
We ain't gotten there yet, so, but I just wanted to take a look at it, so, okay, all right. All right, go ahead, continue.
In addition to that, we also make provisions for closed-circuit television monitoring. There are a couple of these properties that already have fairly extensive surveillance systems in place, and we'd be happy to turn over control of those systems, access to those systems to wherever the court deems fit, whether that's even the state or Fulton County Sheriff's Office or anybody for that matter, whoever you seem fit or wherever that comfort level may arise. And we also are willing and capable of adding additional cameras to increase the monitoring.
Mr. Millsap, may I ask you a question?
Certainly.
About the video surveillance, outside the home and inside the home?
It's both, inside and outside.
And if, let's say, this honorable court set bond, but with all these requirements, and wanted the opportunity to have certain designated people, whether the sheriff, prosecution, and the honorable court itself, to have access to the, to see for themselves live video or the past video, would that be able to be done?
Absolutely.
Thank you. I apologize.
Mr. Steele, through your witness, can you tell the court about the issues involving communication in terms of phones, email, internet, and other third parties that would come to the house? Because one of the things that the court was made aware of was the potential to engage in his trade or occupation while he's pending trial.
Your Honor, we will go to the extent that we will agree to a condition as far as there's no electronics in that house. There's no internet in the house, there's no cell phone, there's no burner cell phone. Anybody who comes into the house, if approved, they would be on a list. They would be patted down and wanded, by the way, and if it's a woman coming, they would have to have a designated time because there'd be a female officer to pat down that woman. As far as work for Mr. Williams, we contemplated, if the court permits, building a studio in his home, wherever of these 4 homes, if the court ratifies and approves, and those people would, of course, be searched, and then all that equipment would leave, and there would be a search of the house as well, or the apartment as well. So we thought about it, Your Honor, and Mr. Williams is aware. I've spoken with him personally about it. As opposed to the way he's living now, he would live without, he would go back to the time I was young, and there'd be no electronics whatsoever.
Will there be people present when he has other people in the house, other law enforcement present?
We had that discussion as well, and we would have video surveillance. Mr. Williams would waive any privacy rights, would be in the house, and law enforcement can be present at the same time. Or, and we're not asking for this, but Mr. Williams can have 0 visitors in the house as well, except obviously his lawyers, doctors would have to go see him, and we would hope family members and business associates. But if the court says, I'm willing to give a bond, but no one's visiting him, we would take that as well, except obviously I'd like counsel to go.
Oh, well, you are, goes without saying.
Okay.
You wouldn't be able to visit him as well as any medical providers or whatever. Okay, anything else, sir, you want to ask Mr. Millsap?
With regards to drugs, there's allegations of drugs in the home. I heard you mention drug dog, drug testing, if the court wanted drug testing to occur.
That's correct. Again, this plan essentially contemplates addressing any and all concerns of this court and the state, frankly. And we have the ability, and I will make it my personal undertaking and responsibility to secure any and all necessary, whether it be a canine dog or any sort of drug testing, any experts we need to pull in to satisfy the court's concerns. As Mr. Steele had touched on, you know, one of the things, Your Honor, that we wanted to ensure you of is the fact that we had in place the ability to do thorough screening, and so that's why we do have both male and female officers, so that we have gender-appropriate screening and pat-downs and wanding for the very purpose of keeping out anything that you deem to be restricted. And I've heard you loud and clear over the last two hearings about the concerns with regard to communicating and the potential of threatening witnesses. And so paramount to that is the ability to keep those devices out, to keep those to prevent that very thing from happening.
And if a visitor stated, you cannot wand me, you cannot pat me down, you have constitutional rights, what would be done with that person?
They would not be allowed access.
And there'd be reports each day by each shift, is that fair to say?
That's correct, and I'm sorry I failed to mention that. The plan would be for the officers at the end of each shift to, during their shift, they would be generating activity logs to be completed at the completion of their shift, and then on once a day, we would upload to a cloud, through cloud access, all 3 shifts, the reports for that day. And those could be, again, available to whoever the court designated needed access to have those, including the state. The state, I'm sorry.
And with regards to weapons, there will be no weapons in that home. By weapons, I mean
this is like real
hand grenades, handguns, whatever it is.
By any means.
Same thing?
I think it goes without saying there will be no weapons in that home. We would seek to keep all of that out.
Now, when Mr. Williams does have to come to court, would there also be provisions that he'd be transported to and from court by the sworn law enforcement officers while on bond?
Absolutely.
So he will never leave that home except in the custody and control of lawful officers who are off duty but sworn. But if he refuses that, they report it to the court as a violation of bond.
That's correct.
Okay. Did you leave anything out, Mr. Middlestat?
I don't believe so.
If the court wants to hear about the different locations, Your Honor, we can do that. Otherwise, there are 4 different locations, Your Honor. Mr. Middlestat did write about them. We did redact, obviously, we can give the state the exact addresses in this honorable court, but for privacy purposes, we did not file that with the record. And Your Honor, each one of those, or I'm asking you, Mr. Middlestat, each one of those locations, 4 locations, have they been vetted and approved for this type of detail?
Yes, I personally visited each one of those and vetted those and assessed the various features associated with those, which I have enumerated in this letter to Your Honor. And I stand ready, and I'm certainly willing to provide any more details or answer any additional questions with regard to any one of those locations.
And then finally, if this honorable court grants bond, conditionally that the house which is chosen for Mr. Williams to reside is then properly swept, approved, sealed, all that goes to the court and the prosecution. The prosecution can bring in people if they want as well. You would have a sworn law enforcement officer meet Mr. Williams outside of the release area of the jail at the Sally Port. Is that your understanding?
That is my understanding.
So it's not like Mr. Williams gets in a car with one of his family members. He would be right from the sheriff of Fulton County into the hands.
That's correct. He's essentially remaining in custody, but remanded to the confinement of his home.
Okay. Now, with an ankle monitor, since
all this shit going on, no thug, like I know they got to let me out after this.
Suggest, I don't
This
think the
the
Honorable Court suggested that if the Honorable Court was troubled, electronics would be removed. It's not my first choice, but if that happened, the ankle monitor, to your knowledge, can an ankle monitor work without there being electronics in the home? And if you don't have that information, there's another person here to talk about.
I'll defer to that other person.
That's fine. I want to thank you. Is there anything else that I've neglected to ask you that's important to Honorable Court?
I don't believe so.
Okay, and the off-duty police officers, right now, they have been given approval for this type of detail?
They have, and I have been reassured of that. And as late as this morning, once again, I have reconfirmed that all of the 24 officers are still good to go.
And if there is a visitation list that has been approved by this Honorable Court, those visitors lists would obviously go to each detail. Is that fair to say?
Correct.
Okay. I don't have any other questions for Mr. Millsap. Thank you so much.
Cross, Mr. Geary. Okay. All right. Sure, you can stand out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That shit crazy. Man, we got more.
She takes it.
Hella people talking about this shit. It's probably the last one, and I'm gonna cut it for the night.
We would call Mr. Jamil
like though.
Mitchell, which is Jamil. Mitchell's Mitchell.
Where's Mr. Mitchell? Is he?
We'll have to.
He should be right here now, coming to your.
There's so many people
All right, Mr.
talking. We
Mitchell,
have
you
to pick
please
this shit
approach
up
the witness stand. Once you get
tomorrow.
there, if you'd be so kind to turn and face Deputy Tarver.
For the game.
Witness, please. Please sit down.
Boy, got community activists, all type of shit. Should have had some white people come see.
Jamil, Jamil Mitchell, Mitchell.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mitchell.
How you doing, sir?
I'm okay. How are you, sir?
All right.
Can you do me a favor when the Honorable Court is ready? Just, where were you born and raised? But let's wait for the Honorable Court. Where were you born and raised, sir?
I was born in Jersey City, New Jersey, but I've been in Atlanta since I was 4 years old.
Okay. And when you speak, just address the court.
Yeah. Private investigator. PI or PL something. He's trying to basically say he went and looked at all the properties and he gonna do the homework on it. He got the police ready. But he said that the court could bring in who they want to.
Okay, sorry, Mr. Steele. Go ahead. I apologize.
Mr. Mitchell, where were you born and raised?
Jersey City, New Jersey, but I've been in Atlanta since I was 4 years old.
And where in Atlanta area have you been since 4 years old?
I reside from Cleveland Avenue.
Okay. What's your educational background?
I went to the University of St. Augustine, then I transferred and went to the Art Institute of Atlanta after my freshman year.
And what type of study did you do?
At St. Augustine, I was doing sports management, and then when I went to the Art Institute of Atlanta, I did videography, audio engineering.
Do you have any prior criminal history?
No, sir.
In your community on Cleveland Avenue, tell this Honorable Court the types of works that you do.
I actually own a nonprofit organization where we have football players and cheerleaders, so we trying to push kids into sports, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get them to do something positive instead of just being around, just running around, doing nothing.
Okay. And do you know the gentleman who is on the Honorable Court's Zoom screen, Mr. Jeffrey Williams?
Yeah, I've been knowing Mr. Williams since he was like 13, 14.
Okay. Tell this Honorable Court the ties that Mr. Williams has to this community and what he does to support the community that you are in.
He actually supports my football team and cheerleading team a lot. He sponsored my football team with uniforms, banquets, buy trophies. When we do barbecues for the kids, that he helps with that. He pays to cook. Like we did a Juneteenth event one year, a barbecue, because we never heard of it. So when we heard of it, we was like, okay, that was 4th of July. So he helped give me money for that, and we paid to cook. He helped do a lot for the community, really, when it comes to the kids and everything.
And what did he, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Just trying to push positivity with the kids.
And does Mr. Williams speak with the next generation of children to do positive things with their life?
Yes, sir. I have him plenty of times where we FaceTimed each other. Cause, you know, he moves around a lot. He's an international star, so he FaceTime. I put the kids on FaceTime with him. They be excited. They shocked. They be like, "Oh, you really know him?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is my friend." Like, he'll come to the banquet if he get a chance, or come to a game.
And does he also come to the area in Cleveland Avenue?
Yeah, he came there, passed out shoes a couple times, do community barbecues, feed the homeless. One year he came, gave out like 90 pair of shoes to the homeless and to the kids out there. Like, he do stuff for the community a lot.
How old are the children in the football program?
My crew go from 5 to 13. The 13 is the cheerleaders, but from football it's 5 to 12.
And are there girls playing football, or a girl playing football as well?
I had a girl last year, yeah. I had a girl play football last year.
And what's the name of the organization?
Cleveland Avenue 49th Youth Organization, Development Organization.
Does Mr. Williams support that organization
they pulled out all
through
the
the
stops
children
and tried to
as
get him
well
out
as
there.
breast cancer?
Yes, he actually, I told him my grandmother passed away from breast cancer right when COVID hit. And he sponsored my football team with breast cancer uniforms. And on the uniform you'll see his record label logo, because whoever sponsored, we put the logo on there to try to show support.
And what's that logo?
His label, Young Stoner Life Records.
YSL?
Yes, sir.
How about tell this Honorable Court what Mr. Williams did with Trunk or Treat?
This is around COVID time, so the kids couldn't really go trick-or-treating. And they not used to that, like, especially like my daughters, they used to going trick-or-treating and stuff like that. So instead, I sponsored I teamed up with another program,
What kind of
another
meat you use?
nonprofit, and we did something called Trunk or Treat, where we had people decorate their trunks. It was like going to a house, and we gave out candy, and then we gave the best trunk award.
And did you team up with law enforcement officials on that?
Yes, actually we did, because right where we practice at, I guess there's like a training academy back there, like back there by the post office, and we had police out there. We gave them food, barbecued, everything. They was there, police was there.
And Mr. Williams is integral in all these events.
Yes, sir.
With regards to children going to school, getting educated, please tell us, Honorable Court, what, if anything, Mr. Williams does for school supplies.
We did a backpack giveaway one time in our neighborhood, well, 2 times in our neighborhood, and he helped sponsor that, where he gives us the money, we go buy the backpacks, we put it together, and then we just give them out to the kids right before school starts. So make sure everybody have like supplies for school, at least for the first month of school.
And we're talking about papers, notebooks, pens, pencils, folders,
everything
calculators.
You need. Everything you need.
And
don't matter the grade.
And that was Mr. Williams?
Yes, sir.
Power behind that?
Yes, sir.
And is this for kindergarten through high school, everybody?
Yes, sir. Kindergarten through high school.
But the entire area in Cleveland Avenue?
The entire neighborhood.
And he does that often?
Yes, sir.
How about tell the Honorable Court what Mr. Williams did, if anything, involving shoe wear for people in the...
Well, like I said earlier, he just popped up one day, like, didn't nobody expect him to come, and then he had like 90 pair of Adidas, and he just gave them out. Like, anybody of your size was there, you could have got a pair. A lot of homeless people got a pair of shoes. So he do a lot of stuff like that. Like, he just popped up that day, didn't nobody expect him to come.
How about food for the people in the community at Cleveland Avenue?
Yeah, we do barbecues a lot. We try to do that barbecues a lot just to feed the neighborhood. Then we did like a barbecue one time inside the apartments, and that's the same day he gave up the shoes. Like we got plenty of things he do when it comes to that stuff.
And Mr. Williams feeds people off in that community?
Yeah, we do. We do one big barbecue every summer, but we just do barbecues when we get bored. Like, let's have a barbecue.
How about
pay the DJ? We'll have a DJ come out there. Pay the DJ.
And like, this is all Mr. Williams?
Yes, sir.
Giving back to the community?
Yes, sir.
How about assisting in an effort to have children read and being interested in reading? Does he do anything with that?
Yes, sir. I had a book company, and I told him about it. And then what I did, like, whenever I got ordered kids' books, I would give them out to my kids' school. Or, you know, if you go in the neighborhood, like, well, I stay downtown, you go in the neighborhood where they got put a book in and take a book out. Well, I just leave the books and I wouldn't take no books out. Or I give the books to my daughter. I think she was in like the 6th grade when we started doing that. And I was like, you take some and give some to your friends or your teachers. And he helped sponsor that because during COVID, when my company was having a bad time, I told him, like, man, I'm having a bad time. And he helped me buy books. And then whenever I buy kids' books, I just give them back to the school.
How about Mr. Williams actually speaking to people in the area? Does he do that?
Yeah, all the time. He's a motivator. Everybody know that. Like, without Jeffrey Williams, I'm gonna keep it real. Without Jeffrey Williams in the neighborhood, I don't know about y'all ever been to Cleveland Avenue, but without him, the neighborhood would be terrible. Like, you gotta think about all the people he helped motivate. Before rapping, it wasn't nothing else to do. He helped motivate people to rap, and I seen other people from my neighborhood get deals and become stars and do what they had to do. See what I'm saying? So to me, and I know to a lot of other people, he's a motivator to us. You know what I'm saying? Because before that, didn't nobody motivate us. We either were playing sports or running around.
Did you ever hear Mr. Williams talk to the people in the community, the vast number of people, about staying in school?
All the time. He tell you that all the time. He got that. He tell people that all the time.
And what does he tell them?
Stay in school. That's the best way to do. What else you gonna do? Become a lawyer. Become, you know what I'm saying? Get into sports. Become a rapper, entertainer. Be a manager like me. I'm a music manager. Like, he motivated me to do that.
You ever hear Mr. Williams say something to the effect of be a thinker, not a criminal?
Most definitely.
And he tells that to the children?
Yes.
And the parents?
Yes, sir.
And it doesn't have to be hopelessness?
No, sir.
Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How about, you know anything about Mr. Williams paying for the bond of strangers from the Fulton County Jail just because they couldn't afford their bond?
Yeah, I was actually there in the meeting when they was talking about it. Like, we're gonna pay for bond for people with bonds who can't afford bond. I was like, bro, that's cool. Like, nobody does that. Like, you gotta think, Atlanta been a hub for music for what, the last 20 years? Name a rapper who ever bonded people out he never knew, never met before, and take them out to eat.
All of the items that you talked about, does Mr. Williams want any credit for that? Does he ever say, hey, put my name on this, tell people I'm doing it?
No, not at all. He's not that type of person. He don't want that type, like, he don't care about that. Like, he don't care about the credit. He sit back and watch it, and I watch him, because I don't know how other people, but I watch him, I see him, I'm like, yeah, he happy. Like, they did something for the community. Because nobody did that for us coming up. See what I'm saying?
And he doesn't publicize it to your knowledge, he just does it?
He just does it, for sure. He might just call you and be like, hey, let's barbecue. Call everybody, tell everybody come, everybody there, everybody eat. Don't nobody go hungry at all.
Your Honor, if the court would allow my co-worker, I'm honored to work with Ms. Courtney Edwards, Courtney C-O-R-T, to get on your Zoom link. She's in your courtroom, but she cannot access it. I'd like to, with the court's permission, show the court photographs and the prosecution for Mr. Mitchell to explain.
Where are they, sir?
Oh, it's in Coalescent. It's in my wife's name, Your Honor.
So you want me to meet your wife so that she can show me these pictures?
Yes, but it will be an alias because it's Courtney Edwards who's actually must be on that device.
I see your better half on here, but I don't see.
Much better. I agree with the court.
But I don't see Miss Edwards.
Right. She said that she's using my device that is in my wife's name, I assume.
All right, okay.
No, I don't think he's a mob boss either. That's why I say they just paint him to be like that.
So Mitchell, if you can look at
Yeah,
what
he innocent. On the shit that they trying to
screen.
say, he's innocent. Bro.
Ms. Edwards, if you can blow that
This
up
my
at all.
thing right here.
Is that a representation?
On the Rico Act and all this shit that they trying to make it seem like he's fucking innocent, bro. They just using all this, like it's basically like he using his entertainment against him. It'd be the same thing as going to get the people who made the movie Scarface, because we all know Scarface is what started a lot of this drug shit. That's what made a lot of these drug kingpins want to start killing and all that shit. It wasn't really no killing in the dope game until Scarface came out. At least that's what they tell me when I talk to one of the old heads who was thriving when that shit came out. Because, you know, I'm pretty sure, I don't know what year it came out, but I know I didn't see it till I got grown. You know what I'm saying? But that's like them going to get Scarface, people who made Scarface and all these other movies, and saying, you know, catch them, because you know all these movie producers and movie actors, they snort dope. They snort dope, they get girls, prostitutes, they get them coke, they all that shit. They can turn, if they wanted to, they can turn all that shit into this is a drug sex ring, and they're the leaders of it and this and that. So they just doing this shit to thug them because, like I said, they black, and the people who, even if it's black people, they feel like they leading their kids astray, so they mad and they trying to make them seem way worse than what they really is. Like, they not gonna get up there and talk about all the good they done. They just gonna get up there and talk about all the bad they think they done, and some of the shit that they got proof they done. And it just goes to show you that bragging on certain shit, especially if you didn't do it, ain't the way to go. Just leave that shit alone. If you got away with it, don't talk about it. Even if you didn't get away with it, don't talk about it. They railroading these boys, man. These boys don't deserve this shit. I'm gonna tell you that right now. This shit is some extra shit.
An example of some of the one of the uniforms?
Yes, actually, that's one of the uniforms he helped sponsor.
And you see the logo you were talking about?
Yes, sir.
And that's YSL?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And it's the 49ers, the Cleveland Avenue 49ers?
Yes, sir.
All
Playing
right.
in City League.
One more time?
We're playing in City League, yeah. So.
Congratulations and thank you. Okay. Next, Ms. Edwards. Do you recognize, can you blow it up, Ms. Edwards? Do you recognize what this is?
But the only fucked up part is,
and that's what you...
It's the only fucked up part is, if the jury is mostly nerds and white people and people who don't understand the rap culture, then they gonna get them boys a guilty verdict because they all feel like rap music is the demise of the black community. So they gonna get a guilty verdict. You know what I'm saying? Now, if they end up getting some people who kind of, you know, 50-50 with it, or know what's really going on and what really ain't going on, then they might can get a non-guilty verdict. But with all this evidence they got against them and the phone conversations and shit, it's just gonna be hard to convince 12 people that they wasn't living, you know, this life of crime like that. And even though to me, because I'm from the streets and I know how this shit go, I know that most of this shit is just smoke and mirrors, it's bullshit, and it shouldn't be. It just shouldn't be. They shouldn't be on trial for these charges, and they be eligible to use this type of lyrics in they shit. You know what I'm saying? If you got a case against these guys, shit, just present the evidence you got. Why you got to use their lyrics and shit, bro? That shit, motherfuckers capping they rap all the time. So I don't understand.
Explain?
Yes, sir.
And that's by Mr. Williams. I know he's not named on there, but that was his.
Yeah,
that was him doing that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that was all for the children.
Yes, sir.
So they can have Halloween.
Exactly, Josie.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Position of power.
Next, please.
That was a Juneteenth barbecue.
And Mr. Williams, again, without taking any credit, he's the one who was behind that?
Yeah, he helped sponsor the food, helped pay for the cook, everything.
And you called it our 4th of July?
Yes, sir.
And this was just brand new information? People
Yeah,
that
that was
have it?
something we never knew about. So when we heard it, it was an idea.
And Mr. Williams wanted people to be educated?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Next, please. What is it?
That's the football team right there.
And all those uniforms, all the Gatorades, all the equipment?
Yes, sir.
Who pays for all that?
He paid for the uniform. This year we was doing the equipment and everything.
Perfect. Okay. Next one.
Yes, you can see the logo more often. You can see me out there coaching.
Okay. Next one, please.
It was the cook. This one we went to buy the food for the Juneteenth event.
And that's the cook who's going to buy all the supplies?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Williams is backing all this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next one, please.
This was the event. I don't know if y'all want to play the video.
With the court's permission, Ms. Edward, can you play it for a moment?
You can see kids out there running around, everybody having a good time. They tore down the volleyball thing, the kids did. We had them out there playing volleyball. This is actually the park that we practice at, and this is the same park we had the trunk or treat at. And right behind here, on top of that hill, is what I was telling y'all, the police academy, or the volleyball thing up. That was the police academy up there, where the police came and helped us.
Now, maybe you can't tell from the video, but many people come to this?
A lot of people come. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Next, please.
Introducing Lemonade Car. The car insurance with extras.
This was the video when he came to the neighborhood.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, can Ms. Edwards play that, please?
And he gave out the shoes.
Yes. Thank you. And this is just Mr. Williams just coming?
Yeah, we didn't even know he was coming. He just came, and then everybody came out once they heard he was there. He gave out shoes to the community. A lot of homeless people got shoes.
And that's Mr. Williams right there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Coming back to the community?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Mitchell, we are here for a
Was that Gunner?
Motion for a Your Honor. Mr. Mitchell, we are here for
no, that ain't Gunner, is it? She 55 booth 3. Violetta Mata. I don't know.
A motion. And a motion is it's a term being used a lot in courts, but we're asking this honorable court to consider releasing Mr. Williams on a pretrial bond.
Yes, sir.
Okay. On your oath, knowing Mr. Williams the way you have since he was 13 years of age, do you have any evidence or belief that if granted bond by this honorable court, Mr. Williams would flee the jurisdiction of the court? What that means is he would not come back to court.
No, he most definitely come to court.
Do you know if Mr. Williams has family in this area?
And what you mean, in Atlanta?
Yes.
I know his whole family. Yeah, so he's never leaving his family.
His whole family's here?
Yeah, I know his whole family.
Same on your oath, any evidence or any belief, any speculation that if granted bond, Mr. Williams would obstruct justice?
No, he wouldn't obstruct
bribe
justice.
A juror?
No, never.
Intimidate a witness?
Never.
If granted bond, do you have any evidence that Mr. Williams would be a risk to commit a crime while out on bond?
Never.
And if granted bond, do you have any evidence that Mr. Williams would be a danger to any person in the community or any property in the community?
Never. He's a motivator to our community. So I can't see him hurting nobody.
When you say a motivator, does Mr. Williams actually talk to people in the community about being lawful?
All the time. We can get, if y'all want, we can bring hundreds of people in here from the community, and they can tell you one by one, he motivated them. Like, if you got I got a buddy who cut grass. If you cut grass, he'll help buy you more equipment to cut grass. Like, this what you want to do? Okay, do it, and do it 100%. He got to think. He stayed down with music, and we seen him go to the top and say the same thing. Stay down. You can have 3-4 lawnmowers. You can be hiring people. Like, that's how I look at him. I know, and a lot of people look at him like that as a motivator. If they didn't, we wouldn't be in here supporting him.
I want to thank you so much. The prosecution and Honorable Court may have questions for you.
Okay.
Scared?
No questions, Judge.
All right. Mr. Mitchell, thank you very much. You can stand down, sir.
Okay, have a nice day, buddy.
Have a seat, McGarry. Thank you. You're welcome.
Support statements they can read, all type of shit. But we at the end, so I'm gonna let this shit end right here. Y'all already know, man. This man, they railroading Thug, man, and that's bogus as hell. I hope he beat this shit for real, cause I feel like really if he beat this shit, he probably will never do no more wrong. He'll really be out here, you know, doing good for the community, and it'll help out the community a little better, cause if he ain't learned his lesson, he have now. He definitely ain't trying to, you know, fuck up this bond if he do get a bond. Motherfucker, they know a motherfucker ain't finna run out the country. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. And then I thought, shit, they needed the money anyway. Let them be telling it. They be trying to get the money out the motherfuckers. Let them get out. If he gonna run, shit, take all his money, all his motherfucking shit. And if he run, y'all still gonna catch him like y'all always do. And he forfeit all that shit. They got a hidden agenda, bro. They on that man head on some other shit. They don't like him for certain personal reasons, whoever behind all this shit. And it's gonna come to the light in the case whenever the snitches and all that shit start taking a stand. Cause it's gonna be out there. Just like these motherfuckers taking a stand to help them, there's gonna be people to take the stand to hurt them. And then that's just gonna be, you know, that's gonna be when we know what's going on, man. So yeah, y'all hit that like button on the way out. Appreciate everybody for popping in. Hit that subscribe. Shout out to Unique, Cartier, Icy, Lou Boy, Josie, shit, Oracle, Queen Hannah, Mike, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, man. Cause Lou Boy, you know what I'm talking about? Like, man, look, man, this shit, there's more shit, there's more videos. We'll cover that shit tomorrow. I know the game come on tomorrow's Sunday, so I'm gonna try to go live before the game come on and after. I know y'all tired of hearing me say what I'm trying to do. I was up about to go live too in the daytime and I fell asleep in the chair. Woke up, it was nighttime. I was like, fuck, man. Yeah, man, salute to everybody that popped out, man. Y'all know I fuck with y'all a long way. Wolfpack gang, man, you already know. I'm definitely gonna take it easy. Shout out to Hannah. You know it's Wolfpack love. Yeah, it's 5 a.m. Yeah, it's definitely 5 where I'm at too. I'm finna go watch The Boys. They got 3 episodes, just came out on the 3rd. I think I made it past the first, and I'm gonna go watch the 2nd and the 3rd and take my ass to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Salute Wells, Josie. You already know, man. Pop in with me, man. Make sure y'all subscribe, hit that notification bell. Do this shit every day. I'll be back later on today.